reaction. Giving you that real shit. We don't do no acting. Legend like I'm Will Smith. I'm the man in the booth. Speaking facts, but it's like they can't handle the truth. Man, King Kong ain't got shit on me. They going ape shit. I'm the one like Neo in the Matrix. You ain't on my level and you know this, man. Ain't nobody come to see you. You like, oh, this man. I live my life a quarter mile at a time. I hit the gas on them. Incredible like the Hulk. I'm finna smash on them. They see my hunger. No, it's not just a game. Really fighting for my life. Are you not entertained? Two thumbs all the way up. 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 Up, 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 up. All the way up. Up, 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 up. All the way up.
Welcome to the Two Thumbs All the Way Up podcast, where we talk about life and movies because life is a movie.
Damn,
like that,
getting,
right? Like bars. Yeah. All right. So today we have been blessed with a special guest. Now, y'all know him as his other name, but I know him as your boy Victor Manuel. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the GOAT right here, yo.
Oh, Dad. Now, I don't need no strangers calling me Victor.
It's already out there. It's already out there, yo.
Oh, Dad.
So we brought him in because now that we're entering Pride Month, we need to get into, the deep conversations. And what I thought was, you might have somebody that you know that's gay or whatnot, but your gay doesn't outgay this guy right here. Nobody outgays this guy right here. So this is the GOAT, the greatest gay of all time, bro. Let's go. Oh, that's another thing. We do our own sound effects.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever you need, you just tell Mario. He kills it with
good.
sound effects, yo.
Yep.
Okay.
We podcasting on a budget. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know about that, bro.
We all start somewhere.
Yeah.
But let's talk about your podcast.
Okay.
What started it? What gave it the idea? What made you want? And we're gonna put the pressure on because we need it back.
Mm-hmm.
You've been taking too much of a vacation, so get that podcast going again.
Well, what started the podcast for me was I just feel like we need more honest conversations. I feel like lately everything's just too censored. Like everyone's a little sensitive right now, and I'm just like, no, like we need to bring back real conversations again.
Right.
Everything's just too. It's too like, oh no, you can't say it. Like, no, say it. If that's how you feel, just say it.
Say it with your chest.
You
Say
know
how
what I
you
mean?
feel.
Yes.
Exactly.
I feel like
and
that.
sometimes you slip up and you just go boom.
Yeah, but I'm somebody that's like, no, I want to hear it because you're gonna think it anyways.
Exactly.
So you might as well just.
And you know what? Most people think it, and only a few people say it. So that's the only difference.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's out here thinking it or whatnot.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You were the perfect guest. You came on to the perfect podcast.
I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. So when do we expect to see episodes again?
Hopefully by the middle of the summer.
Put the pressure on.
Yeah.
Put the pressure on.
No. And I feel like being here also, like, it's like, okay.
It was meant to be.
Come
Yeah,
on.
meant to be.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
meant to be.
yeah, exactly. Your social media skills are like way higher than ours already. You were ready the second you came
Yeah, I
on
was
the podcast.
telling you. I was like, you need to get on that.
Yo, I'm on it. I'm on it, yo. I uploaded a picture yesterday.
Yeah,
yo.
I was like, oh, okay.
Hey, you see me doing big moves now, right?
You're trying to up his off. He's like, hey, bro.
I was like this and shit. I was like, you know how old people be looking at it, be like that.
He's like, where's the up? No, the one that says upload like to the stories, to the news.
Like, yo, why you acting like you 65, son? Yo, I never been big on social media with the Snapchat shit. I didn't even know my fucking Snapchat ID or whatever and shit. So, but now I got Victor. He's schooling me. He's like, yo, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I'm like, all right. So let's do that. So
That's necessary now.
what's up? That's
It's
necessary.
Super
Yeah,
necessary.
man. You'll be my mentor.
Okay.
Alright?
Yeah,
So,
Padawan.
how we do this podcast is before we get into the big topics, we discuss the movies that already been done about the topic. So we're gonna do top 5 gay movies. Alright?
Uh-huh.
So number 5 in gay movies.
Not you guys choosing the gay movies.
Yo,
like,
look. What's up, bro? What's up? What?
I'm just curious.
It's 2021.
I'm like, let me just hear this list.
Yo, why is this guy judging me, bro? Why is this guy judging me, son? Yo, cancel Victor. Cancel Victor.
It's true though.
No, I know we could have exquisite taste in gay movies.
All right, let's see.
All right. So number 5 on the top 5 gay movies is Brokeback Mountain.
Yep.
Now that's a classic. I haven't really seen it, bro. Fuck it. We gonna still talk about it. I'm pretty sure it has a lot to do with the title, right?
Yeah.
It's 2 gay cowboys.
Yep.
My man's on a mountain. He's breaking them backs. Am I close to it?
I mean,
summarize it up?
So I've never seen the movie.
Oh, I'm the only one who's seen it?
From what I have seen, it's like, you kind of got, like, the gist of the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's like a complicated little love story, but that's what everybody made it out to be.
What's so complicated?
Nah, because they gotta hide that shit because they got, like,
They're
this,
cowboys.
Yeah.
And what year did this take place? Like, in whatever?
Probably.
Maybe watch the films.
It's hard. It's not like the old West. It seems kind of contemporary, but
it's still like in the
It
South.
wasn't like
shit.
2000. It wasn't like when it came out.
Yeah, it wasn't when it came
was
out.
a little bit in the past. I haven't seen the movie, but like I remember details.
Damn,
Was it in the South?
No,
No, it was like the Midwest.
Nebraska somewhere.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I feel like that's like the perfect place to be gay. Like nobody gonna see you. Like you.
Nah,
like,
they
you
got
walk-
caught.
You know, people in places like that are nosy though. So
Oh,
like,
yeah.
even though there's not a lot of people, everybody's always in each other's business and stuff.
But the whole thing with the movie was that these 2 guys used to go away like on this mountain where they would, it was basically like camping.
Mm-hmm.
And they would go away to get away from their families and their regular work lives and stuff, and then realize that they were in love with each other while they were out there like hunting and fishing, and they were like, there's nobody around. Let's get it popping.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And until someone did come around and.
Horse wasn't the only thing he was riding. You know what I'm saying?
Oh Jesus!
Boom! Alright.
So what? Hold on.
What's up?
What made you watch that movie? Because that's like a very specific. Like that's a movie that like.
Oh no, my mom always was watching a lot of movies and shit, and she started watching it.
You
And
were
I
just there.
Yeah, I was just there, and I was like, oh. I didn't even know what the fuck it was about. That was like a Western movie or something. And then I was like,
And
whoa!
then like,
I'm like, yo,
okay.
they really out here making out. All right.
Is it a Western?
Yes. I mean,
Not really. I mean,
I mean-
it's just the cowboy thing is more of a setting. Like
Alright.
they're just 2 regular cowboy dudes that fall in love.
yeah.
Cool.
Well,
On a mountain.
what now?
I don't know.
What a mountain. Number 4, we have, because I kind of wanted to switch it because I completely forgot about this one movie. I feel like taking this one out because I only saw, this is a show and I only saw 1 episode. Javi could talk more about it.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Euphoria.
Oh.
Never seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Want to talk about it, Javi?
I mean, yeah, we could talk about it.
Because I completely forgot about this one movie and it's like the best one. I should have had it number 1 on my list. Fuck. Alright.
Wait, what
Fuck
movie?
it. Huh?
What are you talking about?
So you want to talk about Euphoria?
Yeah, we could talk about Euphoria a little bit. Yeah, go
So
ahead.
has anybody watched it? You watched it? Nobody?
I saw the first episode.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Euphoria is it's a show about young people, and it's kids in high school basically, and how they deal with their regular lives. But a lot of the characters are transgender or they're gay and lesbian, and they're unabashed about it.
Oh shit. So it's like
Right.
Degrassi, but with the HBO budget.
Pretty much.
Oh,
yeah,
that's what's up.
So my kids put me onto it, and so Victor, everything I've learned in the last 5 to 10 years about gay, transgender people, I've learned it through my kids. So
It's a very different generation, I feel like. Because
Absolutely.
even for me, that wasn't like a normal thing.
Yeah.
And then I felt like it didn't become a normal thing like in society till like I was in high school. And then it was like, oh, okay, like these conversations were more regular.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah. So they put me onto the show. It's a great show. Wonderful acting. I think Zendaya won
Yeah,
the
it's-
Golden Globe and maybe an Emmy or something
Yeah, I
like
mean for me, yeah.
that. But yeah, it should be on this list for sure.
Alright, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Too bad none of us watched it.
I saw the first episode.
And a good show too is Pose.
Pose?
Yes.
Alright, talk
It's
about
on
that.
FX. It's It's a really good show. It's kind of like
So you could have made a top 5 list, man.
the late 80s. Well, it's probably the only show that I'd be watching. But it's like late 80s, early 90s New York, like ballroom culture.
Oh, is it kind of like, you ever see that documentary, I think it's Paris is Burning?
Exactly.
Okay,
But it's like
yeah.
a TV show.
The TV version of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, because that's like an actual documentary.
Oh, really? So was it like that in the 80s then? With like the dance crews and the...
Yeah. Even when I would go out, like as a teenager, I started going out like at 15, 16 to like these like ballrooms and stuff like that.
Where at?
In the city.
Oh,
it was
city.
like either in House Kitchen or sometimes Chelsea and stuff. And you know that culture still exists. I don't think it's as prominent because now it's more mainstream.
Yeah, it's more mainstream.
There's like this show with like Megan Thee Stallion. She's like a judge or something. I forgot the name of it.
Oh,
but like
RuPaul's Drag?
no, not Drag Race.
No.
But that's another perfect example of like how mainstream I feel like gayness is now.
You think it's cooler now that it's mainstream, or it's like been watered down now that everyone is like into it?
I think it's great to have representation, but I think that I just wish the people who like owned these shows and were like producing it, like executive producing, were people that could relate, because I feel like old white men kind of, once they see they can make money off of something, it lacks the passion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like people that relate to these stories and have gone through this should be the ones really bringing it to the forefront.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so the producers are the ones that actually don't have an idea about it.
They're just trying to make their money.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, we could just hire this one guy. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, he knows about drag culture, right? Yeah.
No, exactly. So, but I think that's changing now.
Yeah.
That's changing.
And what about the Parasite one that you was talking about?
The Parasite?
What's it called?
No, Paris is Burning.
Oh, Paris is Burning.
Wait, what?
Parasite's the one on the train, right? The zombie one on the train. I got it confused.
No, that's the one about the fucking the poor people who scam all the rich people out of their money.
Shit.
It won an Oscar like last year.
Yeah, won Best Picture.
Yeah, Best Picture. Yeah.
No, I'm confusing it with another film, the title. So the one that you said Paris is Burning, I confused it with another title.
Oh, okay.
So
When you said Parasite, I thought of the Human Centipede.
He was in.
I guess that could be in the top 5.
Top 5 horror movies.
That's a cancel. Right?
How's that a cancel?
What?
Boom! Cancel. Alright. So I also have for number 3, Philadelphia. If you haven't seen it, that's the one with Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington, where Denzel Washington plays a lawyer. And I haven't seen that in years, but I remember it being good.
Yeah.
Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Tom Hanks won an Oscar for that one.
He won an Oscar. No, he won one for Forrest Gump too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so that one is a classic. The one that I forgot to put in.
Wait, but how is that like a gay movie?
That one was about, to be honest, I haven't seen it so long, that's why I can't really talk about it. But Tom Hanks was gay, and I can't remember what the lawsuit was.
So on that one, Tom Hanks was a gay attorney, and so this is why it's cool. Denzel Washington defends him in this lawsuit, and Denzel Washington's a homophobe. But Tom Hanks gets fired when the partners at his law firm find out that he's HIV positive, he has AIDS, and they fire him because that's how they find out that he's gay. And so he's sued for discrimination, and Denzel Washington's character represents him. And so that's why it was cool, the cool dynamic. That, Denzel Washington, this homophobic, machista dude, is defending this gay dude, and he, it's a great movie.
Is it like real life? Like, is it based on?
I think it's based on something real, but it's all, I can't remember who wrote it, but it was like a fictional story.
Oh, shit.
It was a great film, though.
Yeah, Denzel and Tom Hanks. Yeah, it's just like it's a
You
slam
can't
dunk.
go wrong
Man.
with
You
that.
can't go.
That's
yeah.
like,
That's like making a movie on easy mode.
Yeah.
True.
Like anything you write, that's just gonna come out like gold.
But it wasn't back then. Like back then.
Oh, back then, yeah.
It was
That was
old,
what, early
but great.
90s?
That was late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Especially with that topic. With
Yeah,
like
topic.
HIV when it first came out.
Yeah.
It was groundbreaking for sure.
Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy how like back then that was like something you had to be really careful about making and all that. And now I feel like the market's pretty saturated with stuff like that.
I think now it be swinging the other way sometimes, where it's like people will try to front like they're lesbians and stuff like that, and it's just, in my opinion, and it's like it's probably not even true, and they just do it just to get become more popular. What do you think? You think?
Well, I think maybe like performative bisexualism is a thing, especially with like, I don't know if y'all noticed, but like at one point like Lady Gaga was bisexual, and like now
I can't stand Lady Gaga, yo.
Yeah, like she used to say this.
I can't stand Lady
She
Gaga,
used to say
yo.
this, but I think she's actually apologized.
Oh,
I
really?
can't
for it.
stand Lady Gaga, son.
And then it's like little themes like, you know, with Katy Perry, like I Kissed a Girl, but I ain't never seen her with a girl.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't never.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like little things like that where it's like it was just
Nicki
now
Minaj.
nobody can.
Oh,
We're
you
not
don't punch
talking
me. You
about-
don't punch me.
We're not talking about, but yeah, she.
I told you, son. I hate that shit.
So
Like,
does that,
Lady
does that
Gaga.
piss you off?
I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care because it's like that's trivial to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
to be honest.
It's kind of like a rapper in the '90s that used to front like he was hard and he was in the
To
the
this
street
day.
life,
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
people always
To this
doing that. And,
day.
and it's bullshit, you know. But for entertainment purposes and get more money, they do it.
Mhm.
So I guess the same thing happens in other categories like gay and lesbian category. You know, like to whatever brings in more people, you're gonna have those people and shit.
No,
you
and
know?
I think also there's just so many bigger things that the community needs to worry about, and I think it's like that in almost every community.
Yeah.
Like it's like that's a distraction.
That's a distraction.
I'm
yeah.
not.
When it
focused
gets to
on
that level
Yeah.
that is so good, then you can worry about that.
Yeah,
right?
like that's
Yeah.
trivial. I don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
what's her
No,
name?
you're
Like
right.
Demi Lovato, like the one she like OD'd on heroin and now she comes out like
she-
non-binary or.
I'm not commenting.
Ah, come
No,
on!
we comment.
We gotta comment on
No
that.
comment on it.
Well, she got a lot of heat for what did she say she was? Non-binary.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
like non-binary. Yeah.
When she doesn't have a career, that's when she says it, right?
Yeah. All of a
I
sudden-
think I think with her, it's just like it's always like a convenient something coming out of something,
Yeah,
whatever is controversy.
Mhm.
So I think that's the issue that people have. I think if it wasn't like that, because the gay community was coming for her, because it was like, girl, like come on, like you
Yeah,
always
that's what's
you
up.
always
Yeah.
doing something, like you know
Yeah.
what I mean. So I think that's why she hasn't gotten the support that you
That-
know.
yeah, she thought she was gonna
thinks
get.
she was gonna get
Yeah.
exactly. But non-binary and gayness is so different, and that's something that I don't think people realize. Like they kind of just put like LGBTQ. Like I don't know what it's like to be transgender. Like
Yeah.
That's a completely different
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Yeah, you're not
Lesbian.
listening.
Or even lesbian, like
Lesbian, gay,
you,
like lesbians and gay people be having beef. Like
That's what I'm saying.
like,
Yo,
yo,
we having beef.
Yeah, these streets.
they be having beef. Like.
Yo, the beef is real, son.
Like
It's
when
like
you think about it, whenever you see like these marches and stuff, like you don't see like all of the communities coming together. Like no, it's like either like something for like gay men or like.
do you ever see a group of lesbians and then you tell like your gay boys like, oh, yo, they here. Yo, do gunshot noises, bro.
No, I mean, but that like okay. This is a part of the honest conversations that don't be
So we all
happening.
being honest here.
Because this is even conversations like when I'm with a lesbian, like she'll tell me like the things like that they be saying about gay people. It's just a different experience. Like this is a woman that likes women, and a man that likes men. That's the opposite. Like
Yeah.
it's a different experience. Like, you know what I mean?
The lesbian and me and the lesbian will relate way more,
You know, I
probably, right?
don't think so.
Oh.
I feel like I've had so many straight guy friends that like will be like it's actually more relatable to be not only with gay guys but with girls. Like they almost feel like they could be themselves a little more. Because I feel like this is something
Wait,
that
they could be themselves a little more with who?
with like their gay friends or like girl friends, like friends that are girls. Because I feel like no shade, but like with straight guys, there always seems to be like this, like, oh, I have to act a certain way because I don't want people to think I'm gay or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's a certain level of what you gotta put out into the world. Not for every straight guy, but for a lot of straight guys.
I think, you know what? Like, alright. Like, this guy did the nah, but
Look at it. He's cutting down. He's like.
nah, so alright. So I think when it comes to like straight men, and you know how there's this homophobia thing that has been happening like forever, right?
Okay.
To like even to today. But to be honest with you, it all comes from women, bro. Right? Yo, check this out. And this is Andrew Schultz's idea, and then I kind of agree with it.
Yeah, the great philosopher, scientist, Andrew Schultz.
Like, I have never.
I know you said that, and I was like,
Yo, hold up.
Your point is like.
I'm gonna bring it back up. I'm gonna bring it back up.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring it back up. I gotcha. So, like, I have never been concerned if another dude thinks that I'm gay. That does nothing to me. It's like, all right, you think I'm gay, whatever. Leave me around your girl, you know? I'll do her nails and shit, you know? But now, if a girl that I like or I think is hot and thinks that I might be gay or there might be like some quote-unquote sus things, I'm like, oh, fuck, I can't have her think I'm gay. You know what I mean? Because then I lose my shot, right? And if you...
But what are the chances of that happening?
I know, but I'm just saying that just an example of that. Like, I'm just trying to say, like, all right, two girls at a club could go dance, right? With each other. Now, if two dudes do that, then they not getting no pussy.
Yeah.
Am I right or am I right?
I don't know.
If two dudes in a club dance with each
Listen,
other and then try to kick it to
I
girls.
think you just gotta go to better clubs.
Yeah, okay.
Hey,
This is
I would
what-
never dance with my homie. I'm never just like, hey, bro, just grind on me real quick.
But I'm just trying to use an example that girls would do that and a guy
Yeah, but
wouldn't.
gay guys aren't like, oh, come grind on me. Like,
Yeah.
if that's your friend. Like, you're not
So
doing that.
easy way to summarize it up, right? It's like men would never judge women for being lesbians, right? So we're not homophobic because
No,
we
it's because you
appreciate.
fetishize that. There's a difference. You're fetishizing two women being together because to you it's like, oh, wow.
We don't judge them like they want to be lesbians, right?
No, but it's a fetishization. It's not just like, oh, I don't care. It's just like, oh, that's hot. Like, I like that. You know
It's
what I mean?
art.
Like,
It's art.
there we go. But like with two...
But the other way around, a girl's gonna judge two dudes.
I don't even think you don't. I don't see
Right?
it like that because I have a different perspective.
All right, what's your perspective?
Because I feel like girls really don't be caring as much as I think guys think that they do when it comes to stuff like this. And in all honesty, at gay clubs, there's always like that group of straight men that be by themselves, knowing that they're at a gay club and knowing that there's girls that are going to be with their gay guy friends. Like, and that's a perfect place to meet a girl. You know what I
it
mean?
really
like,
is.
So it's like,
So like straight guys go to gay clubs to meet girls.
yeah.
No,
yeah,
it-
that's like a thing that I'm just like, oh.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So I'm right. He's just going to the wrong clubs.
I mean, yeah. No, so what?
I'm not
then-
even out there like
Because
that.
then you gotta understand. You gotta understand too. Not me trying to make you guys all strategic and all that, but
He's spilling
No.
the secrets, yo.
But,
but
cut his mic off.
think about it. Okay, so if you're a girl, you go with a group of gay guys. They're meeting people, drinking, and then you just there like, damn, like, you know what I mean. Then a straight guy comes up to you like, oh, you're beautiful. Like, even if they're not really into you, they're just gonna like that attention and stuff like that. So I feel like girls don't like they don't be caring about shit like that. Girls be hitting on me, and I'm like, why you hitting on me?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? What are you
You're
doing?
wasting your
Like,
time. Oh man, as well. No,
All right, let me ask you something about that though. So, you never have sex with a woman, like?
Never.
All right, see, that's hard for me to believe. Like, let's say
Have you ever had sex with a man?
No.
Okay.
I guess.
So what?
I guess that does it. Yeah.
Yeah,
But all right, you know Angelina Lima, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Angelina Lima threw it up at you, you won't catch it. Damn.
No.
Damn. All right.
But
If
that's
Brad
the
Pitt
thing.
threw it up at you, you wouldn't catch it?
Nah.
No shade. But there's a difference though, because it's like I think that so there's like a spectrum with gay people. Like it'll be like there will be those gay guys that are like disgusted by that.
Yeah.
Like ew, like I wouldn't be disgusted. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm a little bit more open to things, but it's just not my first option.
If J-Lo wants to make out with you, you'll say no.
Oh, making out is fine. Like I made out with girls and stuff like that, but you know.
All right.
And no, what is it? Well, I feel like it's more like a mindset type thing, right? Because like, my Nino, like, I remember a long time ago, he was like calling my mom because he was having problems with his family and shit, and he just like the idea of being with a woman just in his head was like, never. Like it just like I don't know, you know.
I think it's a generational thing.
Yeah,
too.
it's true. He's like 40 something. So.
Because older gay guys are very different from like this newer generation. And I talk about this all the time because it's like with older gay guys, there's almost like they almost fell into that trap of I have to be this way because this is just the category that society put me in. So even if you think about it, like even when we were younger growing up, it was like being gay was like two things. It was like you was either this super feminine man or just super masculine, and nobody knows. Like now it's just like you have like this spectrum of like everything, and I think people are just a little bit more open with their sexuality and stuff like that. Because the thought of being with a girl does not disgust me. Like it's not like, oh, I would never do it. Like I'm not inclined.
So you wouldn't smash Angelina though?
I mean, I would, but in the context
like
that
you have to, right?
It's like, yeah, it's like in the context that you're asking me. It's not like I'm like, yeah, like no, like it's just not that. It just don't disgust me. You know what I mean? But it don't. I'm not thinking about it either.
Oh, actually, there's something I always wanted to ask. So, like, I wonder, is there like a gay like accent? Because I noticed that gay people could be from any part of the country, and they all kind of sound the same.
You know, I don't know if they all sound
No, that's a legit question.
That's one of the questions that I had.
Yeah, like,
I don't know if they all sound the same. I think that you guys just, the gay guys that you have seen and experienced are kind of more that stereotypical gay guy.
What do you
but
think?
There's like gay guys that I know that act like y'all. Like, you know what I mean? That it's again such a spectrum. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you just don't notice them.
Yeah, they can kind of exist without people being like, you're gay. You know what I mean?
But where do you think that comes from? Like the mannerisms and like that accent. Where do you think that originates from?
You know, I don't know.
Is it
I
like a
don't know
TV
where
thing?
that, I don't know. It's not a TV thing. I don't know where that comes from because I always remember, even as a kid, I already had like girlier tendencies, but that's not every gay man's experience. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if anything, I feel like the older I got, not the more masculine I got, but I feel like I was just a lot girlier when I was younger and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I think it just comes from if that's how you feel like portraying yourself in life. You know what I mean? I feel comfortable in how I act. And I think that's a good thing about kind of being gay is like people are judging you regardless. So you're going to act how you want to act because you're going to judge me. Period. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm comfortable in how I present myself. But I feel like that could go so much deeper because it's like it could go into the conversation of is it a genetic thing? Is it this? Is it that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are you more inclined into feminine tendencies and then like boys? Like that could go so deep. Like,
do you think it originates from since you were a little bit more feminine growing up? You hung out with girls and maybe you got mannerisms from them? No?
I feel like that was just in me.
Okay.
It was just in me. And
I know Victor since literally he was born. Yeah. Since he was a baby. And I get the sense that you were always free to express yourself the way that you are. And that, like, since you were a little kid.
My mom and my dad were very, like, live your life. Like, even as a young person. My mom tells me, like, she's like, after the fact, she's like, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Like, I
don't think it surprised anybody.
It doesn't surprise me. Like, and I knew that. Like, you know, when you're little, like, and again, this is not the experience for everybody. Because there's some people that it could be a situation that shifted them into, like, gayness. And then there's people that are kind of feel like they were born into it. I feel like I always knew. Like, because when you're growing up, everyone's like, oh, you have a girlfriend? I would be like, what the fuck are you asking me that? Like, first of all, I'm 6. Why would I have a girlfriend? Like, you know what I mean? But like,
but that's a Latino.
Yeah, that's a Latino.
Oh, you're into girls, like little, first-year-old kid, he's kissing girls in school.
No,
first graders and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you 6-year-old, like your little tios and tias are all like, hey, so is that your little girlfriend? Anytime they see you with the girl and shit, you're like a 6-year-old. You're like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, but like those questions when you are gay are like, no.
Like,
and
especially like with the Latinos, it's on some shit where it's like, yo, you're gay if you don't get yourself a girl, get married or whatever, right? Like right now they be like, yo, how come you're
it's
not
like
married?
Pressure.
And it's like, yo, cause I don't want an ugly ass girl like you guys. So I want to take my time and make sure it's the right move before I do. Not like you. And they gotta have one as soon as they get off a relationship, 2 weeks later they gotta be on one. You know what I'm saying? Constantly.
Yeah.
And then like as a kid they'll crack like jokes like that. Like as teenagers, how come you don't got a girl or anything like that? It's like, bro, I'm just not trying to get. You see your girl, bro. You know what I'm saying? But so it's interesting. You said something about how you could be born, and then you also said other people can be shifted.
Mm-hmm.
You think that you could be born straight and be shifted to being gay?
That wasn't the case for me, so I don't want to speak for people like that. But from the experiences that I've heard, like there's certain people like, they have a certain experience or something, and they realize it's something that they never thought about. Like it's something like, who knows? Like let's say if I was to have sex with a girl, they'd be like, I don't think that I would quit. I don't think I would quit guys because of that. But like if I enjoyed it enough, like it'd be like, oh, okay, I can see this being a thing. You know what I mean? But I've had that. I mean, I've had experiences with like guys that I don't even want to do air quotes because it is what it is. But like with guys that like never dealt with guys, and it just so happened to be a thing, like at the moment, like you know what I mean?
Damn, bro.
Oh shit.
Yo, this dude out here converting people.
Damn.
He's like, oh, you straight? Oh, you think you straight? Alright, we're gonna find out how straight you are, and then boom.
But it's not even that. It's not even that. It's not that, because that makes me sound like a predator. Even like, okay.
I was gonna say it just make you smooth as fuck, yo.
I mean,
Right,
I was literally, okay, I'll tell you guys a story. I was literally at a birthday party two nights ago.
Oh shit.
Alright.
Oh shit.
And it could be like a connection thing, because there was this guy, and I thought he was there with a girl. So if you talking to me like I'm just like, oh yeah, what's up, blah, 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 blah. Cause I'm not one of, I feel like there are gay guys that like almost feel like if a guy is talking to them like, oh he must like me. Like no, like they could be friendly, they could just whatever. And then by the end of the night it was like you know what I mean? And I didn't get
Put
that.
it in a back, seal it up. It's a done deal.
I didn't get that vibe. Like, I think sometimes with people, it's just a connection thing. Have you guys ever heard of, like, pansexuals and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah.
Like, people that it's just a vibe thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because when I saw him, I didn't think that, like, I didn't think he was into dudes at all. I didn't even think he knew that he would ever be interested in it. Because I feel like when I was flirting a little bit, when you have a couple drinks, he was kind of, like, hesitant. And then he was the one that got more comfortable.
You think that, or you think he just, like, always had it in him, but he's too scared to, like, and maybe you just brought that out of him?
I don't know, maybe.
So is that what you would describe as fluidity?
Yeah, I think that's the perfect way to describe it. I think there's a spectrum of sexuality, which there's a name for this. I forgot the name of it, but it's like, there's like bisexual, gay, and then straight, and then like there's like these little points where it's like a spectrum. Like some people might not be gay, but like might find a guy attractive, but wouldn't have sex with them. Or a girl, I think a lot of girls are more comfortable with their fluidity, and that's why a lot of girls be like, oh, I'm not lesbian, or I would never be with a girl, but they would get their pussy out, eaten out by a girl. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's all about where you are in that spectrum. Now, with me, I don't feel like I'm from 1 to 10, a 10 gay. Like I feel like those are the people that are like disgusted by it and all that. Like it's just about what you feel comfortable with.
So from 1 through 10, how gay are you?
I would say like 6, 7.
6, 7?
Oh
yeah,
shit!
Yeah.
You met dudes that were way gayer than you?
Yeah.
Damn, son.
You're like,
am I the peak gay person that you've interacted with?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what he's telling you right now.
I think so.
Well,
I think so.
Okay.
Damn, that's crazy, huh? There's
Well,
levels to this shit,
if
yo.
you went to West Hollywood, you'd be like,
Yeah.
you're not that gay.
no.
Oh,
Dude. So I go to school in Hollywood, and
I mean, just to cut you off real quick, like
What?
you got like pink Tims with fur on them and stuff, right?
Yeah, but that's more so also like a persona, like online. Like it's more of a creative outlet for me,
Yeah.
because Like for the most part, when I'm out, like I'm not wearing crazy shit and stuff like that. That's just like it's like a creative thing for me. Like you know what I mean? Because it's like for social media and stuff. Like why would you want to be basic? Like we have enough of that on the street. Like you know you want to kind of be like a more
like a heightened version.
Like a heightened version of yourself. Like I would wear this and stuff like that, but I'm not wearing this like to go to the store.
I like your real talk.
Wow, there's people that would. Yeah. There's people that I'm not wearing heels and stuff or dresses like that. Like that's just not me. Like you know what I mean. But like if I'm playing a character, that's a part of the character. You know what I mean.
Now real talk,
so
like.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say like when you pulled up, I ain't gonna lie. I thought like you was just gonna open the door like Pink Mist was just gonna come in when you just was walking and stuff like that. Alright, so let's get down to number 2 on the list. Is this movie called Milk. It's about a gay mayor in San Francisco. He was the first gay mayor, and it's a dope ass movie. You should check it out for sure. You seen it, right?
Yeah, Harvey Milk.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, his name was Monk. That's okay.
Oh yeah.
You reminded me of everything. I was like Milk.
You sure what kind of movies you talking about here, Joel?
Oh shit.
Nah, it's a good ass story, and it's fucking sad as fuck. So you know, like, I don't want to ruin it for you. I really want you to watch it, and then it's just how you know the movie ends. But he definitely pushed everything going forward for the gay community.
Yeah, he kind of like helped San Francisco become like a haven, right, for people to like go to, especially like back then. You know, shit was hard.
Yeah, because San Francisco's like a gay city.
Yeah, a gay city. Yeah, but it was mostly, well, not mostly, but largely because of him. He kind of made it more
pretty
acceptable.
much.
Yeah, it wasn't always.
Yeah, it wasn't always. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy like how it's just up till now that it's kind of normal, you know, and in certain countries.
Yeah,
but it was like I think it was like 2002, the first time ever in the whole fucking planet that 2 gay dudes could get married. I don't know what country was the first one.
Oh, I thought you were talking about America.
No, not in America, but I don't know
like
what country it was. It was something like that.
Them.
But it was like very recent, you know, as far as like compared to fucking humanity. 2002. Yeah. So in America, I think it was what, like
2011.
2011? Damn, that's crazy, right?
So 10 years.
Yeah.
And even then, that was crazy. It was like an uphill battle, man. I remember like when I was Prop 8, I think, in California.
Well, I'm shocked that it got passed. Just like when you think about, so in 2011, like just going back into that mindset, you think that we were so forward and progressive.
Yeah.
And now in 2021, when you think back on like 2011, you're like, oh.
And then you think about like, yo, what's going on in 2021 right now? Because it's like it's progressive as fuck, but every generation is even more progressive. So it's like, what are we doing right now that we don't notice? That's not progressive. What do you see?
Oh shit!
It's like certain like comments and stuff like that, or things that people do, especially online, that's acceptable right now that I know it's just not going to be acceptable. But I do think that there is going to be like a shift too, because if you really study generations and stuff, it's one generation that's like wild and crazy, and then the next generation is a little bit more conservative and more this and that. So I think we're going through that little stage of like, oh, you need to watch what you say. And then the next generation is going to... Because if you go on TikTok and stuff, these little Gen Z kids are wild.
Oh, my little sister showing me some
They're
stuff,
wild. Like, they're not into the whole being careful of what you say and that. Like, they're growing up in that, so they're like, no.
I think it always goes that route, though. I think that it starts off as, like, you know, young and wild, and then that young and wild that you grew up with, the next generation is not that young and wild anymore because they even wilder.
Well,
and then you look a little bit more like conservative, and they the one that look way wilder. Yeah, I think that's how it goes.
70s and 60s now, you know, to be old.
I think it swings back.
You think it swings back?
Yeah, because I think like if you think about the 1920s, they call it the Roaring 20s, where people were listening to jazz and dancing.
That's when it was wilding out, but it was going like this and shit.
but then the next generation after that is like the ones who went off and fought the war, you know, World War II and all that stuff. And they came back
real stuff to worry about.
They didn't smile and they didn't hug their kids, and those are the boomers who were like doing LSD and mushrooms and
those kids, from the boomers.
And then the Generation X kids, you see like a swing between like conservatism and liberalism.
That's exactly
between
Yeah.
generations. Yeah.
So
But-
you think it's gonna go conservative now afterwards?
No, I think we're kind of in the midst of like this little conservative era where people are like triggered by everything. Because I don't know if y'all, this is a film centered podcast. So if you watch like 2000s movies, them shits be wild now. Like I was watching White Chicks the other day.
Yeah,
I was like,
hell yeah.
I was like, wow.
What, like what?
Like just little things, like
Yeah.
the jokes they were saying,
Yeah.
like, or even like The Hangover. It came out in 2009 when he's like paging Dr. Faggot. Like,
Yeah.
you could not do that now. Like, you know what I mean?
And,
But,
yeah.
like, and I find it hilarious. Like, you know what I mean? But like, that's a sensitive topic for certain people. You know,
Like
what I
somebody
mean?
like DMX would not blow up in today's era.
No.
Yeah.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? He will have to wait for the next generation that's gonna go, you know, when it switches back. But if you listen to this dude's lyrics now, it's like, damn, you know? But he was just doing that at a time that it was
And
acceptable.
that's almost every generation has like those figures that are like controversial at one point, and then the next generation is like, oh, that's nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think the only issue is that, like, today, like, because they're filming themselves doing those things, it's like when you did dumb shit as a kid in like the 70s, like no one, you just kind of forgot about it. You might have a picture, dude. There's like videos of you saying crazy things. So like later on in life, when you want to like say like you want to be a politician or like your views change as you get older.
And I don't
Like-
think that it's fair that I feel like certain people are suffering the consequences. But like you were saying, since it's the first time that people are having all this shit on record,
Yeah.
people are getting like canceled for certain things and stuff like that. And I'm more about accountability more so than canceling somebody, because if that's the case, I should be canceled because of all the shit I've said and done. And I think that's what this generation needs to figure out is we've all done crazy shit. We've all said stupid shit. And you know, if the person continues to do so, then yeah, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
But if not, like, it's like, if I said something in 2012, 2013, like, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
a
even realize
different
I said
person.
that.
If you're gonna look for something, you're gonna find something with
Exactly.
everybody.
With anybody.
And like let's say you stick up for the gay community, right? And you go hard for the gay community, and somebody says something against the gay community, you're gonna fight back, right? Because that's your section. But then there's other communities that you have pay no attention to. You don't care, and it's all good. Like you can't pay attention to everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you might say something that you slip up with another community. Now that community is gonna try to cancel you, and it's like, what are you looking for? Perfection? Because you're gonna slip up somewhere.
Yeah,
you know,
there's
some awareness that you don't know of. You know. So that's what I'm saying.
And I don't think the intention that a lot of people that cancel people is for the better. It's for the entertainment.
Yeah,
And
that's the difference right there.
Yeah.
When you're actually trying to educate somebody, like when that dude said the N-word with the hard R, and then my brother stepped up to him, but he used me to fight him. To try to fight him. Like, that's different. That's educating them, right? But then when you're, like, looking for something, oh, I can't stand this motherfucker.
Yeah,
And
or,
that's
like,
usually the case.
or, like, it's actually a lot of people with that they feel that way,
Mhm.
but they trying to look good for everybody,
Yeah.
and it's all bullshit, it's all fake. It's like, yo, what are you really doing?
Yeah.
I've worked with people like
Oh,
that.
And
where
I
they
think,
like,
I think
they're
it's a
activists.
big chunk.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, I don't want to say most, but it's a big chunk that are like that, you know, fake activists and shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Look pretty on the
So
Instagram.
you,
To me,
you
I'm
work
a-
with people like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I worked with someone very closely for a long time, and then they had said something to me. Literally, this was like in January, February. We was on the phone. I don't know what got into their brain where they felt like they could say this, but they said something to the effect of, "Oh, working with people of color is always some passive aggressive shit. Is always something." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I literally was like, "Huh? Like, what did you just say to me?" And they tripled down on it. Like, I said what I said. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm not gonna go off on you because I know how this works. Like, I know the passive aggression that's gonna come from your end and how you're gonna place yourself as the victim. So I was like, okay, all right, that's how you feel.
It's like he wanted you,
So
your
I did-
reaction.
It was a girl,
Oh.
and that's how I distanced myself. So then, of course, I'm glad that I did not react in the way that I typically would react in, because then it was going around like, oh yeah, I don't know why this person is not talking to me no more, but they didn't have no ammo, like, so it was like, you know, they position themselves as like, it's so hard being white now.
Damn.
And I'm like, okay, you're not helping your case.
Yeah.
You're not helping your case.
Yo, I know.
Like,
I
But what
find that.
do you do then? You let them dig, right? You let them dig their
well,
hole.
I let them dig, and I've learned that everything comes to light. You know what I mean? But one thing I have learned is, okay, you want to talk? Because I was being quiet. I was being nice to you. So now if somebody that you spoke to comes to me, and it's like, oh, what's going on with this person? They said this, and you positioned yourself as the victim, I'll be like, oh, this is what happened.
And then they look like morons.
Yeah,
Right? It's
like
oh.
I'm not gonna be petty. I'm not gonna be like, oh, so this bitch said no. Like this is what happened.
Yeah.
What now? And it's because that's one thing people. I feel like a lot of people have not learned with me. If you've done me wrong or something, I don't want to have a beef. I don't want to have drama. Like
Yeah.
I'll leave it alone.
Cut that
But
person
when
out.
people do dirty things, it's almost like it bubbles out of them.
Yeah.
Like they be exposing themselves. So
And a lot of things that are happening now too is everyone sees how things blow up on Instagram and stuff like that, and now everybody wants to be a victim, you know. So now everybody. So you have a white, female that's like, oh, we're a victim.
You
because
called
we don't
me a
got it as good
Karen.
as like the straight white man,
Yeah.
and it's like, come on.
and also when you're not like that, you're the bad guy all the time.
Yeah.
Like when you're not somebody that positions yourself as a victim, because I can see I can always take accountability, and that especially in California is mind-boggling to people. Like, huh, what? Because I'll be like, oh yeah, I've done this, I've done that, and people are like, oh really? Like you can't expose me if I've exposed myself. Like
Yeah.
it's no longer fun for people to use something against you if you already told on yourself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And again, that's why I always try to emphasize we've all done stuff. Like we've all and you know when you're doing wrong. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so just take accountability. It's not that big.
But I feel like the thing with the people that play the victim role, a lot of time they actually become victims, because they just think themselves like, I feel like they set themselves up sometimes, and then they actually start thinking of themselves as victims.
Well, I think also people get rewarded for that.
Yeah, people get rewarded for
So
that.
that's what they're addicted to.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, this is the easy way. But when you choose the easy way, like out of anything, it always comes back like to haunt you. That's something that I've learned, especially living out here, is I be staying quiet, and at first it feels unfair. Like, damn, they really fucking with me right now. You know what I mean? But it always just figures itself out. And then when you need to defend yourself, then defend yourself. But most of the time it's again trivial and petty. So.
Yeah. I've noticed, I feel like the people who are the most, vocal and the most, sometimes the most, activist about things are the ones who end up doing, the worst. And I think it's you're setting yourself up for failure, Because if, you put yourself on a pedestal, then eventually once you say anything that, slips up, then all of a sudden you can't pull the card out. You
Bill
can't-
Cosby.
Yeah, because he...
he built himself up on this giant ivory tower looking down on people, and then...
What was the dude that he
Pick
was
up your
talking to?
pants while I have this drink.
Was the dude that used to shit on people for cheating on their wives and stuff like that? He ends up cheating on their wives.
Yeah,
When the guy's
yeah, that dude. But he always
had,
like
a
kind of
YouTube
stuff.
channel.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. When you try to
He was like a couples therapist.
Yeah,
perfect, bro. Come on, you just set yourself up.
No, that would always look sus though. Anyone who
Yeah.
fell for that trap, I don't feel that bad for you.
I think also if you're the type of person that's like, oh, I'm saying this because I did this and these are my experiences. When you position yourself like that, you're not trying to make yourself look perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, look, this is the mistake I made. I don't want you to make the same mistake. But people, like you guys are saying, they be trying to make it seem like they're this authority of moral
Cause a
kindness.
lot of times too, it's a power thing. They feel powerful when they could go and write something on a computer and make another person's life go downwards. They get high off of that. So it's a lot of people will look at other people as extreme, and they're trying to abuse these victims, and then there will be people that want that kind of power and they just take a different route. Things with Kevin Hart and stuff like that. It probably, whoever put it out there probably wasn't even a gay person. It was probably a fucking just a straight
Well, I think
person,
that was a tweet or something.
Yeah, it was a tweet from a decade ago, and it's yeah, that happens. If you go back to Abraham Lincoln, he used to say some racist shit. He also freed the slaves, but at that time it was progressive. If he grew up in this time, then he would have been a different person probably. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of times too, we all still learning moving forward, and you can't. If you go a decade back, you're gonna find some shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
So,
Oh shit, what was number one?
for number one is, man, I don't know if it's number one though. Well, I haven't watched the movie, but but you know how we doing this podcast. We don't even be watching shit. We still criticize it. But you saw it, right? Yo, drum roll. But he did Rhapsody. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
He did.
Boom, right here. One of the goats.
Yeah.
Queen. It was a good movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy.
I ain't never seen it.
Oh
seen it?
damn! I'm
Yeah, I
not
gotta
even
watch
seeing
it.
all these movies.
That was a great film.
Yeah,
I
it was
that.
a great movie.
He won an Oscar for it.
Yeah.
They were trying to go with Borat, the dude that did Borat, to play the main character, and I feel like they should have still went with him though.
Nah, Rami Malek killed it.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I think he's a good actor.
I mean,
He's
he
a good
looks
actor.
closer, I think, to Queen
Yeah.
than Rami Malek did, but
That too.
Rami Malek, they made him, they hooked
Yeah.
him up. They made him, I think they did prosthetics and stuff to get it right, but he looked the part.
yeah, and he was like, I think Rami Malek's actually like Palestinian or something, like the lead singer of Queen was.
Oh yeah, he was
It
Palestinian.
was Pakistani.
Pakistani,
Oh,
yeah. I think Rami Malek's actually like half Pakistani.
All right, cool. One that I forgot to put in, and I'm pretty sure people are gonna be like, yo, how did you forget to put this one? And me too. I'm like, how did I forget? It's fucking Moonlight, bro.
Oh shit,
Oh,
dude.
Fucking Moonlight. That shit
Oh,
was good.
Moonlight, yeah, that was really good.
Bro. Bro, get out. Get out. Get out.
You ever seen
How have you
Moonlight?
not watched Moonlight?
I don't watch movies like
Yo, that was a good ass movie, man.
the movies I watch, this is very stereotypical. Like, I like romantic comedies and stuff.
Oh,
So that's what I'm watching. Like, I don't. Also, this is the thing. Like what I was saying. Like, how gay people are portrayed in the media is not relatable to me.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have no sad story. I didn't get kicked out. Like, that's just not my experience. So a lot of it's just not relatable to me. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't relate to this. Like,
That makes sense.
I wasn't on the street. Like, I didn't do sex work. I didn't do none of that. So I think that's why I just never am really looking for that. You know?
Oh, that
Because
makes
it's
sense.
always the same. It's more or less always the same story.
Yeah. Do you
I
wish
think-
someone
I
would
think-
tell a story similar to yours?
Hmm?
Like in like a film or something like that?
Well, I think at the end of the day, you attract people through like something salacious or like like people either like sob stories or something crazy. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I can give that.
I think, this is my guess, but I think you'll like Moonlight. Because I don't think it does that.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it salacious. It doesn't go out to be controversial. And like, if you're hetero and you're watching this movie, you forget that it's about a gay person and it's just a love story. Like it's about a kid who's just wanted love and he finds it. And that's what films should do, right? It should connect people that come from different
Like, you
backgrounds.
shouldn't have to be from that place where the main character is from to enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
You should be able to like, I never viewed that world. Let me see how that world is, Let me see how it looks and everything. And I think that like Philadelphia or Moonlight, they did a good job doing that. My only criticism about the film actually is some good criticism. I think that it should have been a show instead of a movie.
Moonlight?
It was too much for one movie. So it started off when he was a kid, and then he has a drug dealer uncle, right?
No, he's not even related to
not
him.
even
He's not-
related,
yeah, so he
Yeah.
brought him in and he raised them, and then like people on the block were looking at him funny, like, yo, you got like he's raising a gay dude and stuff like that, and then he was just trying to help him out and everything. And then he gets blasted, but they don't mention why he got killed and stuff like that. And then he's a grown adult. And I just want to see more of that guy that brought him in and raised him. And I want to see like a show based off of that.
Oh,
And
that little middle part.
And then get into the teenager, like, 2 seasons after, and then he becomes a grown man and he starts selling drugs. You know what I mean? I wanted to see more of that,
I
actually.
mean, it probably would have been a good show, but I thought, and to be honest, I watched the movie. I didn't really appreciate it the first time I watched it. I was like, let me see what the big fuss is about. And then the second time I watched it, I was like, oh, like, you don't have to be from this world to feel for these characters and get into the story, And I appreciated the second time I watched it more than the first time.
Definitely. All right.
That should be on your list.
Yeah, it is on my list now.
All right, bump out Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah. All right, so you want to go? Oh, want to do the gay or not list?
All right.
Gay.
All right, hit him with the gay or nay.
Gay.
Hit him with the gay or nay.
All right. So let's see. Marlon Brando.
Yeah, he was bisexual, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't have like him and James Dean and all these people.
Oh, James Dean too.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I know. I think he cracked Richard Pryor's cheeks, right?
Richard Pryor, the comedian.
That's a rumor, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's his ex-wife confirmed it, but I guess if the man didn't say it, then.
Yeah. All right.
I don't think his ex-wife would just make that up, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
for what? Like what are you gaining from?
Well, it
Yeah,
depends.
he's
Did
dead. He's already dead. Like
why was he his ex-wife? Did they divorce while he was still alive?
No.
Oh, I say yeah.
Yeah.
The little rumors and shit.
And I think she was into like freaky stuff.
Oh,
I
man,
mean,
that's
if you
crazy.
with him, yeah.
That's crazy. The Richard Pryor, the comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
What?
this is like a known thing though.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew Marlon
He was
Brando was
a-
gay. I didn't know Richard Pryor was gay.
He was a. Did he ever go broke? Nah, he kept his money, right?
Richard
Richard
Pryor.
Pryor?
Yeah.
I thought
He might have struggled at some
So,
point.
yeah.
I mean, for being a gay crackhead, bro, it's like, yo, the man was living his life, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and other comedians have said like,
Yeah,
he
right,
used to
yeah.
deal with guys and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right, the Spartans.
I feel like all them Greeks and Romans was doing.
And you're right.
yeah, but like the Spartans more so than like any other culture.
Well, they was always together.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
dudes were always together. Like when they would get married, they would actually make their women shave their heads bald to look more masculine. They wouldn't wear like ceremonial dresses or anything like that. They would have them wear like more male like garb. So when they got married, it was like easier for the guy to accept it and transition into it.
And they'll go to war and all that, and then they'll just like, you know, smash each other while they waiting and stuff.
I feel like that's why when people are like, "Oh, this is like a recent thing," like with
Yeah.
gayness becoming mainstream. Like, I think honestly, just when you kind of figure out history and stuff like that, I think that it was just there was a big separation, and like when religion really
That's
became
what it
at
was.
the forefront of everything, it really changed that dynamic because these like pre-Christian societies were like, well, like they didn't care about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think there was a concept behind being like.
They had other
gay.
genders and
you-
everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You look at like the Native Americans that were here before the Europeans came in and brought, you know, Catholic to them. They were doing that, and nobody like they had transgender people, and they were looked at like two spirits where you could give an advice to women and men.
Mhm.
You know, so they looked at them different than how we look at them. You
Mhm.
know. So so that was definitely religion completely changed it.
I think Christianity
Yeah,
especially.
yeah.
changed
Well,
it. It was like
Christianity,
global.
Christianity, Islam,
Islam,
Judaism,
all
all
the-
the,
yeah, all-
they're the big three.
Yeah, the big three. Yeah, they do that because I don't know like Buddhism. I don't think they
Yeah,
give a fuck, right?
Yeah, I don't fucking care.
So it's all like the Abrahamic, what's it called? The
Abrahamic religions,
Abrahamic
yeah.
religions. And I find it ironic, right? Just because if you go by percentage, I don't know what the percentage is. I'm pretty sure it's way higher because there's a lot of people that just don't come out.
Yeah.
But like, let's say the percentage of like the gay population, let's just say is like 8%, right? It's probably really like 12%, you know?
Yeah.
So if you just by math throughout history is the same thing. The only difference is that now is more open and you're able to come out and you don't get fucking hanged and burnt in certain places because there's certain places that still don't fuck with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if
So-
you're like south of the Mason-Dixon,
Yeah. So
you gotta move to the east, you gotta move to the
exactly.
Like move to a big city.
Yeah, move to a big city,
Unless you're
yeah.
like in
Or even
Atlanta
even
or something.
yeah,
Atlanta, yeah.
exactly. And I'm talking about in America, like in other countries, they go even harder.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They throw people off the roof in
Off the-
certain countries.
Yeah, certain countries just straight up illegal.
It's like that guy that literally just got killed by his brother because he was gay.
Oh
Where?
shit.
Like I think it was another country. I think it was like in the Middle East though.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that don't surprise me.
Yeah. Yeah, so like, you know, if you look at the gay population out there, it ain't gonna be, it's gonna be like zero.
Yeah.
But is it really zero? You know what I mean?
Oh, I was in Iran where the president came out and was like, "There's no gay people in my country."
It's like, how? It just
Really?
No gay people, it just doesn't happen out here.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, there's like 20 million people in your country. Like, there's no way, not one.
Not one. But if you go back through history, I'm pretty sure it's the same percentage. It just gets cut down because they're not open about it. But I'm pretty sure you could go all the
Well,
way
look at
back.
the Spartans. It
Exactly.
seemed like it was 90%.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I think like with them, I don't think the concept of gayness was a thing. I think it was just like, yeah, like Bob. No one was like, oh, that's gay. They were
It
probably
might
like,
have been
yeah.
also just a sexual thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, you're here.
So is it safe to say that what makes the difference is the religious stigma?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
big
stigma.
time.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because in societies where there was no stigma to it, it was kind of accepted, right?
Yeah.
And you
Native
know what?
American societies and
That makes sense with homophobia. right? Like, all right, I'll take it back with when women, you know, now I'll switch it to religion, right? That's where it does come from, because, you know, if you sin, you get stoned, you know, if you get sin, you get shunned, and in order to avoid all that, they like, oh, now you can't be gay, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And but then again, people are still fucking. You know what I mean? So they pick and choose. Sometimes they just pick and choose and shit.
They do pick and choose, but like, even like every religion says adultery is bad.
Yeah.
Every single religion, and some have like severe policies against it. Some have lighter policies against it. But almost all of them see homosexuality way worse than adultery.
Yeah.
Even though in their holy books or whatever,
Yeah.
it's in the same categories.
Yeah.
But they see homosexuality as way worse.
Yeah.
And that's like the religious you know, shame for stuff like that is way more heavier on sexuality than it is on adultery or other sins or whatever.
So where do you think homophobia originates then?
Just probably, I would say, religions, you know, and I think maybe like I said, most cultures that didn't have like religions, like I was even reading up, like Romans didn't even have, like, the concept of someone being gay wasn't like a thing, really. It's like if you slept with the dude, then you weren't like considered gay. It was just like that's just something you like to do.
You think we'll ever get that like woke?
I don't think in our lifetime.
No.
Nah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if things keep trending, maybe, you know, the way they are, I think at some
Like
point,
1,000 years from
yeah,
now,
it's just
probably.
gonna be a thing.
But I think that's also like how we were saying, how with generations things kind of
Yeah.
go back and
People
forth.
always think that history, like, it's just gonna in a line going
Yeah.
forward, and it can always go backwards.
Yeah,
sometimes,
always
you
go
know?
back. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, for example, with the Greeks or like the Native Americans, they had to figure it out. Everybody was cool, everybody was happy, and then boom, Europeans come in, and then it always go
reverts,
backwards. Yeah.
So maybe it's just white people.
Maybe it's just white people.
Yeah.
Boom. Nah.
Yeah, you can show me.
Fuck all that.
It's 2021.
All right.
Oh, J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah, he was obsessed with gay people.
Yo, that's crazy, right? Like, he's in everybody's business, trying to get dirt on everybody, and he was out here just doing his thing.
Yeah,
he could be happy. He could do whatever makes him happy, but
It was like an obsession. Like it was like, why are you so obsessed with these people?
But
Yeah.
you would think he would like
But
go
I think,
the opposite route.
But I think also, like, when you think about it, like, he might have just been a bitter person.
Yeah,
too,
that had to
because
happen.
it was more so than gay people. It was like he was just fucking with everybody.
Cause I think if you happy, you don't give a fuck. Whoever
Yeah.
doing, just let them do them.
For
Like,
him, it might have been a power thing.
They got power.
Yeah.
Yeah, this motherfucker tried to cancel fucking Martin Luther King and
Yeah.
shit, man.
But supposedly he was a cross-dresser.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe.
What other facts you got about him? Anything else about?
Oh no! Apparently he was in a gay relationship with like multiple men throughout his lifetime, and like he had people like assassinated to like cover that shit up.
Yeah, he had a couple of bodies. in
Yeah,
there.
which is fucking crazy.
The man that he lived with, I think he left him everything in his will,
Mm-hmm.
and was buried next to J. Edgar Hoover.
And what
I'm
about his
sorry,
wife?
You don't do that unless you have a very deep relationship
Yeah.
with someone. And he
Yeah.
never married.
Oh, he never got married?
No.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
fucking duh.
Oh shit! All right, Abraham Lincoln.
I don't know.
Nah.
Javi?
I don't think he was gay.
I have to base it on something.
All right,
What-
so-
Yeah, like I've never even heard of like, oh, Abraham Lincoln was this.
Oh, all right. So, after a little bit of digging. All right. So Abraham Lincoln had this bodyguard named David Derrickson, and he had like a really weird relationship with his bodyguard, because back then a bodyguard wasn't. Like presidents had bodyguards, but they wouldn't have one like sleep in the same place as them.
So how he slept in the same bed as his bodyguard? How he still get fucking blasted? Yo,
He fired
what's
him.
up with this bodyguard, son? This nigga couldn't just be like, "Hey, yo, duck."
Honestly, as soon as he said bodyguard, I was like, where was this bodyguard?
Yeah, what was this nigga at, yo?
Well, he ended up relieving him of duty at some point because people started asking questions.
Ah, see, he
Yeah.
should have just been open about it, and he would have probably still been alive
Yep.
to today.
This day, to this day, to this day.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and then there's this other dude named Joshua Speed.
Yo,
He was
this
a
nigga
politician. And they were
Oh, so
already.
he had multiple.
Yeah, and he was already a politician,
Oh, he
right?
was cracking up. Jeez,
Yeah.
Christ. That's-
And-
how I get canceled for saying that he was doing his thing and being happy.
Yeah.
Most people don't yell cracking cheeks to a microphone.
But was he?
But was he not?
Yeah,
cracking
was he
cheeks?
not? Yeah, he was definitely
not
cracking
cheeks. He was cracking cheeks.
So this dude, they would go on trips together, right? Which was normal for the time for politicians to travel together if they had to go to like a conference or some shit. But they would like sleep in the same bed, which was and also
Was it head to toe?
I don't know. They just like all they know is that there was a lot of letters they would send back and forth to each other. And
That's the only thing you could do though. You can't fucking text.
Hold on. So like, alright, if you were a poor person back then, it was normal to sleep in a bed with your homie if you had to save money.
Yeah.
You know, like you'd go to an inn, you're like, yo, we're too broke to fucking afford 2 rooms and afford 2 beds, so you just sleep in the same bed. They already had money by then. They were both politicians, so they could have
president.
Yeah, dude could have afforded to get 7 rooms, but it was really weird that they would like sleep together in the same bed. And the correspondence between them was like more intimate than like
The
2
average.
homies.
Yeah.
So
And at that time, it's not like he could just come out in the fucking 1800s.
Yeah.
Like, you know what's crazy though? That just shows that like, yo, the gay struggle and the black struggle, like the gay struggle tops it. You know what I'm saying?
You think so?
Bro, my man out here like, yo, fuck that, we freeing the slaves. Fuck all these racist motherfuckers, we freeing the slaves. That's it. And then he's like, yo, what about you coming out the closet? Nah.
No.
Yeah.
You're not that crazy. I'm not
that wild now.
I think it's, but you gotta understand. I think it was a little more severe. Like black people were slaves. Like with gay people,
Nah, you're right.
They were never like enslaved. Like they were like I think that's completely different. And I think being gay is all situational. Again, it's like straight people. It's like, okay, a straight white man and you are
That's
gonna
a good
have
point,
2 different experiences.
Yeah.
A gay white man and me are gonna have 2 completely different experiences. It's all very situational.
But a black person wasn't getting like fucking like they were trying to use them. But like gays was just getting hung and burned and shit too, you know?
Black
So
happened to the black people too.
yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right. All right.
And it was after slavery.
Yeah,
like I think if anything, there was a resentment because they could no longer be used. So now they're like abusing this group of people because it's like, damn, like
I guess it was just easier for a gay guy to hide that he was gay. And
you can't hide that you're black.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
where it
yeah.
all boils down to, you know?
Yeah, because like I don't think Abraham Lincoln would have been able to free the slaves if he would have came out during his time.
Yeah.
That would have been.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that would have ended his political
Because the
career.
people in the north would have been like, nah, then we don't fuck with you, you know?
Yeah, because
well,
like
nobody would have fucked with him.
Yeah, especially because all the like back then people were a lot more religious. Yeah, I think now people are like a lot less religious, just generally. You know,
by
so
far.
like maybe a lot of that archaic shit will die.
It seems a little dated, exactly.
A little dated, yeah. It's like you really think there's this magic man in the sky, yeah? It's like
Well, I believe in God and stuff like
Oh, yeah?
that, but I think that my experience is just, I think that religion has tainted so much of that kind of belief for a lot of people.
yeah.
And that's the case with me. Like, it's even like people, especially in California, a lot of people do, like crystals. And
Oh
stuff
my
like
god, those are way worse than fucking religious people.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I started to notice for a lot of the people that like are obsessed with crystals to be the most evil people. And then
Damn.
now I have that's a little tainted.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, ah.
What it all boils down to is 2 groups. You put everybody in 2 fucking groups. That's simple. It's either you an asshole or you not an asshole. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you could have religion in your life and the Bible and you could read the whole shit and if you're not an asshole, you're gonna take the good out of it and you're gonna say, oh, the peace and the love and the forgiving and not the not judging.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not an asshole, if you're an asshole, you're gonna take the same exact book that person reads and go, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Even though I fuck up, no, you can't be gay and this and
It's
that.
all perspective.
And everything. It boils down to everything. Like it don't pick any category and it's gonna like if you're a woke liberal and stuff like that, you might be a good person trying to fight for everybody's cause, but then you could also be a woke liberal that start judging everybody, trying to cancel people and this and that. And it's the same group, but it's just one's an asshole and one's not an asshole. Simple as that.
Yeah, there's good and bad in everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? You got any more?
No, that was it.
That was it. So he got 100, right?
Yeah,
He missed the
100%,
Abraham
man.
Lincoln. I think everybody missed the Abraham Lincoln one.
Yeah.
I never heard that.
Yeah, I never heard
Yeah,
that
I mean,
until I started doing a little research.
Well, you should have had one that wasn't.
Oh. I
Like, isn't that the point of the game?
Well, no, I figured, I thought Marlon Brando, or not Marlon, I thought the Spartans was gonna throw you off.
No, all there's like artwork and stuff of 2 men.
Nah, there were no names. So, I also wanted to do a couple of like top gay moments, right? And can you bring up the scene?
Yeah.
Yo, if you never watched this, bro. Now we in the last episodes we showed the Twisted Tea guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he slapped the racist dude, and now we're gonna show the gay version of that.
Oh, man, that kid's going.
So he's not gonna be able to hear it because he doesn't have a headset on.
Yeah, put these on.
20 seconds.
All it takes.
That's it.
Oh wow,
So
this is
you're
a
gonna
different
queue it up?
experience.
Yo, this man's fire.
What the fuck?
Sorry, I'm gonna have to.
Don't fucking
Nah,
kill me.
edit it
Don't
later.
fucking put your hands on me. Don't fucking do it. Huh?
Wow! Woo!
What's
Hey.
up?
Yo, that was
What's
a
up?
slap,
What's up?
son.
Cause I'm motherfucking done with you. Call me a fat motherfucker.
Body just fucking
And
went
I'm
to the
gonna
other
fucking pop
side.
your ass.
Bro,
What's up?
Pop your-
What's up, motherfucker?
What area
What's
is
up?
this?
that sounds like Orange
Oh!
County, right?
Don't fucking
I
do
mean-
it. Don't fucking do it.
Not
I don't
the way he
know.
was
Don't fucking do
talking.
it.
Oh,
God.
What's up? What's up?
One more
What's
time,
up?
hold on. Run that
Fucking
back.
do it. Huh?
Ow! Oh, shit!
Ooh!
Oh, shit!
What's up?
Now,
I would have kept hitting.
Fucking do it.
Oh,
What's up? What's
If it
up?
wasn't for that desk.
What's up?
I think the fact that he didn't keep
Call me a fat
on is
motherfucking
even
time.
worse. Like that, just
And I'm
one
gonna fucking
good
pop
slap
your ass.
and then like do something and
What's
he didn't
up?
do anything.
Yeah.
It's better than just fucking him up over and over. You know?
Yeah, because now that kid's reputation for the rest
Yeah.
of his life, like he can't go anywhere because
Nah.
like, hey, aren't you the one that gay dude just slapped and you just kind of like back down?
Now you know he says that word way more inside his house,
Oh yeah.
but outside his house he doesn't use it at all.
Well, I ain't, you know, cause I didn't have that experience in high school and stuff because I think people knew like
What high school did you go to?
to EBC.
Oh, alright.
And people knew, like, people know when they could, like, mess with you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they know when they can. So he probably thought, oh, this kid could be messed with. Let me pick on him. But then.
Nah, I guess
Yeah.
again.
When I saw that video the first time, I was like, because the kid doesn't seem like he's an aggressive kid or anything like that.
Yeah, he's
But what
kind
did
of
that
dorky.
other guy do that pushed him to the edge where he's like he slapped that kid that way? Like
He probably was already, like, doing this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he probably
That
did it
was-
a couple of times.
Yeah,
Every
that
time
was
he
a
goes to the
20-second
fucking
clip.
classroom, you know? Yeah.
I can only imagine what was happening before he even started filming that made that kid just get that angry.
Because
And, you know, sometimes with the right, if it's the right day and I'm not in the mood and, like, that could come out of somebody. You know what I mean? Like,
I do find it surprising because we're from the same neighborhood, right? We grew up in the same. I find it surprising that you.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you
It's
that.
not your experience. Like I'm pretty shocked to be honest with you.
you never scrapped up?
yes, but
Over
not
that?
over this. No,
Oh,
crazy.
No, not over
Then you
this.
said, oh, that's crazy. Just find with regular shit.
Yeah, no, not over this. I think people know.
That actually is surprising.
Yeah.
I thought that for sure you would have stories
I
of
think
scrapping up
also-
over that.
I think also it was once I was in high school, it was a different time. Like I think if I would have went to high school when my sister went to high school, it would have been a thing. Because I remember there was a gay guy that went to her school, and I would hear her talk about it. Like you know what I mean? Like it was like all jokes and stuff like that, and it wasn't nothing like crazy, but it was. I feel like from when she went to high school to when I went to high school, it was such a different shift. Because I went to school from high school 2010 to 2014. That was already when things were shifting into like it was becoming more normalized. Obama was like doing the gay marriage thing and all of that. Like it was a different time. Like
That's true.
that was when things were shifting. That was the shift.
Yeah.
It wasn't there yet, but we were shifting as a whole.
Oh,
you know?
shit. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, I figured you'd have at least one story
Especially
like that.
not in school, not nothing like not on the street.
Really not even like regular like.
And
like
back
work
then,
life?
that's when I really used to like be dressing like I was definitely like more gay. Like I used to wear like chokers and shit like that. Like and nothing. The only thing that I remember one time, it wasn't bad, But I remember this guy. I had my earphones like back in the day, and the music had paused in between. You know when it's about to play into another song, and then this guy tells us, he's like, "What are you wearing a choker for?" Like that was the extent of it, and I just thought it was funny, but. I didn't go through, like, the homophobic stage, no nothing. I do remember one time this kid kind of tried to test to see if he could, like, bully me in 9th grade, and no.
Then you give him a
missed
slap of
the try.
justice.
Swinging on him.
It didn't have to get to that point. I think he knew, like, oh, this is not the one.
Pull
I
up.
was, like, the first, like, openly gay person in my school, though. Like, everybody knew the other people was gay, but, like, I had, like, a boyfriend and stuff like that. Like, I was very ahead of the time, I think.
Yeah.
And then they all started coming out.
So we're gonna talk about.
Nah, we keep going.
We keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I got
Are
to
you
take a piss
cool?
real quick though.
Are
yo.
you-
I don't know if I should smile or...
Oh, wait, should I use my left
Just-
hand?
just
I should use left hand.
Make sure you get the 2 thumbs up, yo.
Oh shoot! I had it set to video. Sorry.
That should just be the thing. That should be the.
There you go. We got it.
You got it.
Got it.
So when did we leave off at?
Where did we?
when
Wasn't
you
it
guys-
that video or something?
Yeah, we looked
Yeah.
at that video. We were talking about how he said he never experienced anything like that.
Alright.
Yeah.
We could go off that video right after. Alright, so I like that
Put
video.
the mic down a little bit.
I like that video. You know, he gave him a good old nice fancy bitch slap. But you got to look at this guy that put years into perfecting the fucking punch, right? So there was this guy called Emil Griffith. And he was a boxer, I forget from what era. I think it was from
These from the 60s.
60s, yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Now, he was going to fight, he had a fight coming up, and he kept it in the closet, right? Nobody knew his personal business until that fight. And it leaked out that I think they found him with his boyfriend in a hotel or something like that. So they had a press conference, and then his opponent goes up to him, and he slaps him in the ass and calls the maggot version in Spanish, you know? And then the boxer, Emil Griffith, said, "I'm gonna fucking kill you in a boxing ring." So then, you know, they go and then they have this fight, and he fucking kills him in a boxing ring. Now, he can't get arrested for that. You know,
I didn't know you can. I did not know you can't get arrested for killing somebody.
Hell no. Like, you agreed. You signed a contract. You signed a waiver that says if you die, you die, pretty much, you know?
Yeah.
No pun intended. But, yeah, that happened, and Emil Griffith went and called himself a body like he said he was.
Yep.
And I don't think anybody ever messed with him like that afterwards.
But what happens afterwards? Like, those people watching, like...
Oh, I mean, because he didn't die immediately in the ring.
Oh, he just,
he
like,
died like
knocked
10
out.
days after.
Yeah, he
after
beat
the
him
fight.
into a coma.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And, but like, no, he said in a press conference, you know, he's like, all right, he's like, forever you're going to be known as the man that got killed by a gay guy. And, yeah, forever he's the man who got killed by a gay guy.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, it's like that, but on steroids, pretty much, yeah?
Yeah.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, like I was telling you earlier, like, I've never really gone through that stuff.
Right.
But I'm not afraid to defend myself. So if it needed to get there, well,
Yeah, so
If
you
it-
got like
if
the
it
slap
comes
of
down
justice?
to it, still a
Why
Brooklyn
not?
ass nigga.
that New York spirit is still
Yeah,
with
stomped
me,
out
yeah.
with the pink Tims, right?
I've learned to calm, not the pink Tims, come on.
Come on. Why
I've
not?
never owned pink Tims in my life.
You know what we gotta do is we gotta get him some pink tips.
Yeah, why
No,
not?
I'll rock some pink Tims on like breast cancer month.
Yeah, I think it's like a
Just
day.
because of that?
Yeah, I'll rock the pink Tims.
Okay.
I'll be fired. I thought you don't have pink Tims?
No, I do not.
Shit, I fucked up again. Yo, we're gonna edit this part out.
That's staying.
Damn it! Alright. That's kind of disappointing, man.
Oh, I've disappointed you so many times at this point. Earlier he had said that he thought pink glitter or something was going to come out.
It was
mist,
mist.
a mist.
It was a
Mist.
mist.
Yeah.
Well, what now?
What you gonna do?
I do want to talk to him about his experiences in Brooklyn, and we got to talk about the religion.
Okay.
So we all grew up, well, except Mario. But
Yeah, I'm
all-
Catholic. We're the best religion in the world, man. You could just do whatever you want. You could murder people all year, and then you go once. You know, say some
You're
prayers.
forgiven.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Catholic, being Catholic's awesome.
So Yeah,
Unless
he's
you're a
right.
kid.
Being Catholic is a lot better than being Jehovah's Witness. But
As an adult.
but can you talk to us about like what it was like growing up as a Jehovah's Witness and being gay?
I think for me it just kind of added a layer into like I remember being little and being like, damn, like I wonder how my parents are gonna take it and stuff like that because I knew, like I was telling y'all, like I knew like I'm not into girls, like I'm just not. So I think hearing these kind of teachings of how it wasn't the right thing was a little scary for me. But then I got outed when I was like 14. So, and that was around the time that my mom was like, oh, you don't have to go if you don't want to go. You know what I mean? So my experience wasn't negative. It was just more so like this layer that it added, like already being gay in society is so looked down on, but then if you add religion into that, it makes it a little bit more scary. But I didn't have this negative experience as some other people.
Do you know anybody that did in the religion?
No, I don't really talk to a lot of people like from that time in my life because even nowadays, sometimes when I see like the brothers and sisters that are still in it, they kind of just look at me and like there's no interaction. Like it's very weird because you would think I was never baptized or anything. It wasn't even a situation where I was in it and then I was removed. Like it's just like this weird judgment that I feel sometimes, but I don't really care. Like, you know what I mean?
When was the last time you were in a Kingdom Hall?
A what?
Kingdom Hall is
a
like
church.
a church.
It's Jehovah's Witness church.
Probably when I was 14.
That was the last time.
Yeah, or maybe not. Maybe I used to go for like the memorial or something. But I haven't been in a long time, like to like nothing. Like I was kind of given the freedom to not go.
That's what I feel like Jehovah would be like more like strict on it because even Catholics, like you can murder people all you want, but like if you're gay, like they got a lot of shit to say about that.
But that was my experience.
Yeah.
You know, I had a mom. My dad was already out of it, but my mom was just a little bit more lenient than probably the average mom. Because there was other people that I would like, he's gay. He's gay. Like I don't. But you know, some people are not comfortable with coming out or feeling that pressure of like, damn, I'm in this. Like, or I might be judged. I didn't have that. Like, if my parents didn't care, I didn't care who else cared about it. Because I feel like once you have that support from your family and from your base, you don't care who cares. Like, that's why having supportive family and like having a foundation is so important because it could really alter how you grow up and how you kind of go about things in life, you know?
So that's the experience that we've had, you know, speaking to people when we were filming the doc, is most people, when they come out as gay and are Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't have that at all. You know, they're getting kicked out of the house, they're getting shunned, they're having like talks with the elders in the back room with 3 elders. Like, that never happened to you? None of that stuff?
I already think to be completely honest, I don't think my family had the best reputation by the time that I was even going through that experience, you know what I mean? I think that my dad was already out and, you know, those things with that, and then my mom was not really going as much. Like, I think I was already they were kind of removed, and then I was even more removed, and I'm sure there was rumors, I think more so from extended family members that were that are Jehovah's Witness. It was more of a judgment from that. But even to this day, like my dad will tell me things of like someone said something like shady, or they'll like try to show him like my videos or me in makeup, and he's like, okay, like I don't care. Like, one, he's an adult, but like it just was not that experience for me.
Well, I think with you, is like you said, it's a different experience. Your family.
I don't have the average experience.
Yeah, like your family was already kind of out of there, and you were like completely out of there. And then I think that was one thing that also that was like rumored throughout all of the churches. Like, you were already who you are, and you didn't really hide it to begin with.
Like, I was like 14 years old. Like, I was in high school. This is how I got outed. I guess I'll tell y'all the story since it's that theme. One day I was with my boyfriend at the time. I was 14. I had a boyfriend. I thought I was very grown. And I was with him at the pizza shop, very New York, after school. Like
On Linden and Wilson?
no, not Linden and Wilson. It was on DeKalb.
Oh, that's the best one.
That's
Right there.
Knickerbocker.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's a Tony.
Tony's.
Oh, that shit,
Tony's,
yeah.
but there's two Tonys because there's the other one that does like the specialty slices.
The DeKalb one is the original. Too.
Yeah, the original. And then my dad texts me. He's like, "Oh, hey, what you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm out." He's like, "Oh, come to the house. I need to speak to you." And I knew what he wanted to talk about. Like I was like, damn, he knows because my dad did not live with me. Like, what are you doing in the house? And I'm not there. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, fuck, okay, I guess. So I went, and then my mom is like in this seat. It was just very like almost like staged. Like it felt staged. Like my mom was sitting apart, and my dad was on the couch, and he's like, oh, so I've heard someone called me to tell me that you have a boyfriend.
Who called?
I don't know.
Come on.
They never told me. I have a suspicion.
Who is it, yo?
They were
Put him on
like,
blast.
is this...
I'm gonna drop a name and you just smile.
No. But hey, maybe you just planted something else now. Now I'm like, So when he tells me that, I just start crying. Like, I was like, like it was like that kind of cry. Because I didn't really know what to say. So I'm like, yeah. And he's like, no, like, it's fine. Like, I just wanted to know because this was told to me. So my mom was the one that was more, like, she didn't say nothing. Like, she just was like, and that was shocking to me because I always had a better relationship with my mom than my dad. So it was a little weird to almost feel like I was more supported from my dad in that very instance. Like, you know what I mean? But it was a parent from the school. But there was other Jehovah's Witnesses that went to my school. I just did not care. Like, I was like, I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? I almost kind of wanted them to find out.
When that happened, though, did it make you feel like, I wish they did find out, but through me as opposed to somebody else, or it's just
I'm
whatever?
kind of glad they found out. Because, like, nobody really wants to have that talk with their parents.
Yeah.
Like, I'm almost glad that whoever told them, if that's the case, told them, and then so early on, because it was like, I don't have to deal with this no more. It's out in the open. I know my sister kind of already knew. My cousins, I had cousins that knew and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure my parents had an idea, but I think once somebody called them, that was like an outside.
Did anybody else give you a completely different reaction? Where they were like, what? Wait, you're gay? And they're like, no, don't fuck with you anymore. Nobody did that.
I think everybody had an idea. Everybody knew. Like, for some people you know, for some other people you don't. But for me, like, people knew. Like, it was kind of like that thing where, like, you walk into a room and, you know, everybody's thinking something, but, like, they're not saying it to you. You know what I mean?
So everybody else had that idea.
You were a fabulous little kid.
Come on. I'll literally look at pictures of myself and I'm like, damn, like,
You were trying to hide it that
why were you posing like that? Like, come on.
So question, like, everybody else had that idea of you. When did you have that idea of you?
Oh, as, like, early as, like...
How back can you go?
Like, probably, like, 4 or 5. And it wasn't a concept of sexuality, because as a child, you're not thinking about that. It was just, like, I just knew that I wasn't attracted to girls the way I was supposed to be attracted, because there was always this pressure of, do you have a girlfriend? Do you have this? Do you have that? Like,
at 4?
Oh, boys, you know what I mean? Like, you're watching it, the media, like, what you see on TV, what you see in movies, all of that. Like, there was nothing talking about, like, guys thinking a guy is cute and stuff like that. So you knew, like, oh, something a little off with me, like, at the time, especially because it was viewed so negatively compared to now where it's a little, like, whatever, you know?
So up to that point, so you came out at 14 officially, right?
Well, I was outed.
You were outed at 14.
Yeah.
But up to that point, you know you're gay, but you're 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, and you're sitting at the Kingdom Halls. They talk about this stuff openly.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
You always had, like, a sense of, like, guilt a little. Because especially when you're so young and impressionable, you're really soaking in this information, like, oh, like, what I'm doing is bad. Like, it's not something that I should be doing. But then, to be honest, because I've always been a very, like, open person, even as a child. Like, I would be like, well, all these sins, all these people are doing is one of these things. So I never felt like what I was doing was worse, even though it was almost emphasized to be, like, the top sin of them all. Because in the very same teachings, they're telling you that no sin is greater than the other. But then it's like, okay, so what do I believe? Like, it's contradicting
I remember I had asked a Jehovah's Witness person, because I forgot how he got into the topic. It was off of Instagram. So I asked him, I was like, so then what would you rather have? A son that's like a wife abuser or a gay son? And he's like, damn, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. But then I was like, yo, but isn't the sin and the Bible the same thing? So, like, yo, isn't, like, hurting, being the shit out of somebody, like, way worse?
Doesn't mean you're hurting.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But it was still like, oh, shit, I don't know. But then it's funny because, like, in the Bible, God puts it all the same. But then the human, the religion, make the gay sin way worse. Yeah.
If someone's not gay, it's convenient for them to pick on gay people to make themselves feel better. I think it's like that in most minority populations. I mean, we see it. It's like whatever is easiest to pick on, that's what we're going to pick on. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
So, but my parents raised me a little differently than I think how my sister was raised. So my sister she was in it, like preaching and all that and stuff like that. And I knew, I was like, I'm not going to end up like this. Like, because even with her, she rebelled and she did this. I feel like my sister being the older one, since she rebelled, they were like, well, since she did whatever she wanted to do, then let's just be a little more lenient with him. Because it's like,
so she paved the way for you.
Oh, of course. She definitely paved the way for me to, like, do whatever I want.
Oh, so you never had to do the door-to-door thing?
Oh, I did, but as a child.
Oh,
and I remember when I'm sure this has happened to y'all, like when you knock on the door and somebody from your school opens the door and you're like, damn. why you got to open the door? And, like, and they just be looking at you like.
Oh, you knock like this?
Like, I used to be happy when they would ignore and I don't want to deal with it.
I was going to a funeral, yo. Yo, Joel, you go to a funeral every week.
But it's weird, like, nobody would ever follow up on it, though. Yeah. Like, nobody would go back to school and be like, oh, what you was doing. I think they would just be like, oh, that was weird.
But because that's what they put in your head, that they're going to mock you and they're going to make fun of you and they're going to do all this stuff when they find out you're a Jehovah's Witness. Mm-hmm. And that you're supposed to, like, just stick your chest out and be like, hey, I'm a Jehovah's Witness in school and preach to kids in the playground and do all this stuff. And then you realize, nobody really cares.
No, it's like, it's a little, like, funny to them, but it's not something that's like, oh, I'm thinking of, especially as a kid, like, kids don't think about that stuff. They don't care.
Yeah, they're like, yo, you want to go to the playground or not? Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Now, you still believe in God to this day. So growing up, how was that you still grew up believing in God when you were gay, but at the same time, like, it kind of contradicts itself, or does it?
I think if your faith is solely based on a religion, then yeah, it's contradicting. But I don't know. For me, I never thought what I was doing was wrong. Like, to me, the guilt would come from people constantly brainwashing you into thinking that what you're doing is wrong. But me personally, like, I wasn't hurting nobody. Like, I wasn't forcing how I live my life onto anybody else either. So, like, I never felt that, you know what I mean? Like,
so, like, when you say you believe in God, do you still believe in like the same God, like Jehovah, or
yeah, I think God is just God.
God, or just like something higher than like.
I think it's just something. I can't sit here and say that I've literally written it down like this is my belief and this is what it is, but I personally, from my experiences, I just feel like some things just can't be explained, and I think that to me is what God is, where it's like, damn, like I was just going through this and then this worked out and like somehow it all kind of fell into place and stuff like that. But I think a lot of the time religion taints that and it becomes too like rule based, and you know, for most human beings, like if you like structure and all of that is perfect for you. Or I would say, like, if you're not, I would say, a leader and you need guidance, religion is perfect for you. Because it's literally people telling you what to do and how to live your life and how to this. I've been the opposite. I'm the antithesis of that. Like, I want to live my life, and if what I'm doing is wrong, then what I'm doing is wrong. Like, you know, like what now? Like, I'm gonna live my life and be happy because I've seen other people choose that life and they're happy, they're content, and then there's other people that are not content and happy with what they're doing, and they're subjecting themselves to this life.
And then if there is a God, you know, and he's created everything, then why is there gay people here if he has something against them, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, it's just like, why? I don't understand the obsession with gayness. It's like an obsession that people have. Like, it's like, why are you so pressed? Why do you care?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't care that you're straight. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just a way for people to kind of it's a projection. They're taking out what they don't like about themselves and trying to attack somebody else for just living their life. But it's like that not only for gay people, in all senses. I think people always kind of find people to pick on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you're not happy with yourself, it's easier just to like find someone else and be like,
Yeah, and that's what people do when they're like that, when they're those type of people. But yeah, it never took my faith from God. Like, I still feel like I have a relationship with God. I just am not going to exclusively place myself in a religion just because that's not what I feel. It's not what I believe. I'm not going to be a hypocrite.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And I feel like in religions, hypocrisy is such a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you're telling me not to do this, but you're hiding all these things. So, like, why should I hide my life? You know what I mean? And I think that's what triggers people when they hide things and you're living your life. That's what really triggers them.
So like, you know, in that environment of because we're still talking about the religion, I'm sure people gave you a hard time at some point, or am I wrong? Like,
I think maybe like sometimes like with the kids my age, like sometimes they would say like little certain comments, but it was never something.
To your face.
It was to my face, but it was more like passive aggressive. Like, it wasn't so blatant. Like, it was a little covert and like, you know, like, let me test the waters, you know what I mean? But again, I feel like because my parents kind of gave me the freedom to express myself, because even like, you know, sometimes, again, like you were like, oh, you were a fabulous child or whatever. Like, my mom and dad, I've never heard them be like, oh, stop acting like that. Or don't do this, or don't say that. Like, they never did that to me. Like, never. If anything, some of my uncles and my aunts would say shady things like that and be like, oh, you need to man up, blah, blah, blah. Like, that came from outside forces, you know what I mean? So I think, again, because I had that foundation, I didn't really care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't really affecting me.
Once the most important people in your life approve of you, who gives a fuck
Yeah.
about anybody else's opinions, right?
Yeah, and the very same people that were telling me those things have done things on the low that are the same things they were accusing me of. You know what I mean? So it's like...
what my follow-up to that was, it was more of a petty thing. It was like,
Yeah, it was
now that
petty.
you're like, you know, you're doing Instagram and you're doing your social media stuff and you're doing your fashion stuff and all that stuff, you never want to just go back and flex a little bit on all those people that...
It's not in his radar.
They're just
not in your radar, right?
And they never were. I think that's why it doesn't matter. My dad will have phone conversations and it'll be like somebody that we know that, and he doesn't see it like that, but I think because it's my experience, I'm like, they were trying to be shady. They were trying to gaslight you into a reaction of like, look what your son is doing. Like, look, and like,
to shame him, right?
yeah, like, it's almost like, look how your son came out. And he doesn't see it like that, but I kind of dive deeper into things. Thank God he's somebody that is not influenced by that or lets it trigger him. But to this day, like, it's like people that it's like, I have not talked to you in a decade. Why are you even following me if that's the case? Like, if what I'm doing is so wrong.
Oh, so people hit you up like on a DM like, yo, what are you doing?
No, they'll hit him up and and I'll be like, how do they know this? Oh, they follow you. Okay.
Yeah, then why are you following?
So,
don't follow.
why
Yeah,
are you
just
following?
don't
You know
look.
what I mean? Don't look. Yeah, why are you invested? Like, and that goes for family members. It goes for people in
Fuck it, let them follow you too. That's a good. But you're following, right?
But yeah, it's like it's very weird. I think people would just get really triggered by people who just live their lives.
Yeah.
Like if you,
Yeah.
if they're not like that.
Yeah.
Like if you're not like that and you see somebody that's like, how come you're like that? You know, and I'm not like that, but they don't see it like
Especially from that religion where a lot of, it's like they get positive feedback for not doing things and being disciplined and sticking to the rules. So they get positive feedback and then they get pissed off when you get more positive feedback than what they're doing, you know? So
Yeah,
I think
but
that
it's
could
like
bring some hate too.
Nothing that I'm experiencing has to do with Jehovah. So if you're so secure in that faith, why would having a following or that why does that matter? If anything, it's kind of against that. It's kind of like living a simple life and, you know, being modest and being, none of what I do is that, you know? So what I'm doing, just like, don't even invest yourself in it if it's a bad thing, you know what I mean? But I think people live for it and they just don't want to admit it. Like, they kind of live vicariously through you because you are living your life.
Well, it's probably a shock to them too, because again, it's ingrained in you when you're a kid. It's like, oh, if you go do that, you're gonna end up in drugs. You're gonna end up in, you know, sick.
A
you're
criminal.
And sometimes you do, and that's still okay. You know?
Yeah, it's still okay.
Well, I think also you have to put yourself in other people's shoes, though.
Yeah.
Like, if I was somebody that knew me as a child and I came
Make them
across
alright.
my Instagram, I'd be like, huh? Like,
Yeah.
where did this come from? Like, if you don't know, if you haven't been updated on their life, like, it's like a kid that you saw growing up and now he's in lashes and a wig and stuff. Like, it's like, huh? Like,
Yeah, it's wild.
what happened? Like,
But-
you know what I mean?
But I mean, if it was like since like your childhood, right? People always kind of been like, oh, he might be gay. So like,
Yeah, but when you live your life like
Like
that,
that,
that's a difference. It's like people are used to people kind of being ashamed about it, but
yeah.
it's
When
like,
you're like-
how dare you not be ashamed?
Oh, when you're
Like,
proud of
you know?
it and like you're doing your thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever get positive feedback the other way around, where it's like somebody maybe in the religion or not in the religion hit you up like, oh, that's what's up. I wish I could do what you're doing and just be free. But, you know, you're at that level. It never...
Not necessarily that they wish that they were doing what I was doing, but
Yeah.
I still have relationships with certain people. Not relationships, but like it's cool. Like, you know, I think the people that I was already close with at the time, that it was like more so than just seeing you at the Kingdom Hall, are still the people that, you know, I'm updated on and stuff like that. I think moving across the country, though, you're gonna lose contact with people, period. Like, you know what I mean? But I still have good relationships with certain people. It wasn't all negative.
Of course.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Same here. Same thing. There's still, like, I think for the most part, you know who they are too. The ones that are still gonna stick with you even if you're not part of that religion, and the ones that are not. You kind of pretty much already know more or less who's it gonna be. You get a couple of surprises here and there, but other than that, you already pretty much know who it is. But I do know that there are people that are still in the religion that isn't brave enough like you know, and they'll even lie to themselves that they're not that, you know, and it's always mind blowing to me. Yeah, so I mean, but definitely you didn't. You like one life to live. Fuck all that.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. Like, life is too short, and I've always been kind of a rebel in all sense. Like, I will do what I want as long as I'm not hurting nobody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it because I've always identified how unhappy people can be not living their lives, and I don't want to be like that. Also, having an older sibling, and my sister was very that. Like, she was like, do what you want. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's somebody that kind of wanted to live her life. So I kind of took that and, like, magnified it and made it bigger because I didn't have to live as strict of a childhood as, like, she did. So, yeah. And I knew as a kid. I was like, I'm not going to live this life. Like, I always knew as a kid. Like, 6, 7 years old, like, oh, I'm not doing this for the rest of my life.
Well, just so you know, I personally, I've known you since you were a little kid. I root for you. So whenever I see the stuff you're posting and the stuff you're doing, I'm like, dude, go get it. You know what I mean?
I appreciate
Like, it makes
that.
me happy to see that you walked away from that world and you're living your life. That's what we all want to do, right?
In that world, do you still see people like, you know, you live in LA, do you still see people that judge you and give you, you know, in everything that you're doing, that they like make your life more difficult? Does that happen?
With Jehovah's Witnesses, or just
not with Jehovah's Witnesses, just regular life?
No, I think especially in the industry that I'm in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Everybody's gay, or like, or if you're not gay, like you're so used to being around other gay people.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like gayness in 2021 is like, there's other movements going on that have kind of succeeded, like the trans movement and all of that. Like, I feel like almost gayness has become more normal because straight people have found other groups to find weird or criticize or like, so I haven't experienced that in LA. I do think LA is more conservative than New York.
Really? LA?
Yes, because in New York, I used to like, in New York, you could literally be wearing anything, or like people just do not care. Like, you got somewhere to go. Unless you're in the hood, maybe sometimes, but like for the most part. In LA, people like to stare. They're very curious. They're very this, they're very that. And sometimes you'll hear like little commentary, but it's never been like anything severe for me. I always got my AirPods on anyways.
And you never scared to get down, right? Scrap up.
That's right.
Yeah, I feel like
end up making another video go viral like this man right here.
Well, I think New Yorkers too have a certain way of presenting themselves that already scares people a little bit, because your normal street face is not normal here. Like, I remember when I first moved here, people would be like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "What do you mean? Like, what do you mean am I okay?" Like, because I would go to restaurants and just be like on my phone, and to them that's like angry, or like, "Are you upset? Are you this? Are you that?" It's like, no, I'm in a good mood.
It's just my Subway face.
I'm just existing. Yeah, like I'm just existing.
Yeah. Same thing with me. Like, sometimes I feel like I say certain things and people think like
It's
I'm upset or something. I'm like, oh nah, you know, like.
But I'm glad LA softened me up though, and I'm actually happy that it did, because I think now when I go back home, I'm like, calm down. Like, it's not that serious. Like, I think New Yorkers, it's good to be strong and know how to defend yourself, but there's a limit. Like, sometimes it's like you're closing yourself off from people.
I think it's good though. I like that. I'm like that. Cause you know, a couple of weeks ago, I go with Mario to Fullerton. Yo, some dude just steps up to me, and, and goes, "Yo, you good?" And I'm thinking, I'm like, "Yo, should I punch this dude right in the face right now?" Cause he looked at me, he goes, "You good?" I'm like, "The fuck you mean?" Like, out there, somebody steps up to you right in front of your face and go, "Yo, you good?" That's a fight.
Yeah,
like, you trying to rob me, bro? You know what I mean? And then I just like stood calm, and then he's like, "Oh, I think he's just trying to be cool with me or something. I don't know."
Oh, that Indian dude.
Nah, the other guy.
Oh, the dude that thought you were a D-boy?
I don't know what he thought, but he just like kept on just like in my face, like, "You good?" And then the Indian guy, another dude steps up to me and like just tries to like chill with us. And then, but he keeps talking to me. He gets close to my face, so I push him. I'm like, "Bro, don't like I can't hear you from here." But he's like getting close. I'm like, "Bro, back up." Like, I don't know who you are. You might try to take a swing at me or something, you know. So I feel like that's.
Yeah, but you see, thinking like that, like when you think about it, even though you were raised around that, that's a little weird.
That's
like,
I guess
you always think somebody's trying to fight you. Or you always think somebody's trying to fight. That's weird.
But
like,
I think I'm on the safe side at least. Like, you can't just sneak up on me. You know, I'm always looking around and stuff like that. So I think
even if I'm walking on the sidewalk, I'll literally be like,
you
know, like it's good to have those skills, like having like street smarts and all of that. But also, it's good to show a little more emotion, be a little more compassion.
You gotta balance it, because it has taken me out of like certain situations that I was like, all right, this is leading to that, and then I'll leave out. Exactly.
Well, I was telling you in the Uber, like the driver, like he had me heated, and it was like I could feel like bubbling up, and I was like, no, calm down.
Oh, what do you do?
So in LA now, they're doing this thing where like if he literally said, "Oh, it's not worth making this ride. I'm not making enough money for this ride." Like, he told me that. And I was like, this man I did not just get into this car and him tell me that. So I was like, why'd you accept the ride then? Like, it was like, he's like, oh. I was like, cancel the ride. Just cancel the ride. Like, it took everything inside me, because one is an entitlement, you know what I mean? Like, what does that have to do with me as a customer? I can't go into a job or something and be like, oh, it's not worth it for me to do this. Like, you know what I mean? But I think I've learned living here, especially, there's a lot of passive aggression. I think it's actually the opposite. Like, New Yorkers are aggressive, and Californians are very passive aggressive. Like, it's like that. I'm a poke into you and like kind of poke the bear.
Yeah.
So once you learn how to balance those skills, like you kind of become unstoppable because now you know how to deal with kind of the whole spectrum of how people like to attack, you know?
Yeah. All right. Anything else anybody wanted to add, or you have any questions? Anything you want to talk about? Certain misconception? Nothing. Everything good to go. Yeah. You know what? What are certain misconceptions that you could like a message that you could deliver that like maybe people, you know, think
Like with gay people?
Yeah.
I think the biggest misconception is that a gay man wants every man. Like straight men will literally think you want them just because you're gay and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah. All right. So, so hold on. So it's true, right? Because I know this one dude, right? I'm not gonna say no names or anything like
So
that.
everybody wants you?
Nah,
Everybody wants you.
See, I wasn't even talking about me. That's y'all assuming that. Damn. All
well,
right.
you're talking about your experience.
I'm not talking about my experience actually.
Okay.
See, love, it's stupid, right? I'm actually talking about this other somebody that I know that he looks like Peter Griffin, right? And he just assumes, like he thinks.
And it's always like that.
And it's like, bro, like, yeah, you got gay dudes that are gonna, you know, come at you, but if you like Peter Griffin, I think you're good, bro.
It's right. I'm gonna protect my chastity.
But at the same time, it does happen though too. Like we can't feel like it just like there are dudes that sometimes they get disrespectful, you know.
Yes, of course, but I think it also comes from a place where straight men are so used to being so aggressive towards women and always being so sexualized and everything like that. They project that onto gay men. Now there are gay men that are like that, and you know, there's always in every group there's always like a stereotype that's like true. It's like inappropriate, but it's true. But I can speak for myself, and I'm very selective. I don't go for anything. I think that's the biggest misconception, though. It's like if you're gay and it's a man, it's like, oh my god, like I want you, like.
You know, I think it comes from the fact that like dudes could be like that. Just generally, like straight dudes are like that.
Yeah, because they're like that's a girl.
Yeah, so they're like if straight dudes are like that with girls, then like you would think that gay dudes are like that.
He's
with
a guy.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why the way I look at it is like when I approach a girl, I approach her in a way that like it's still like if a gay dude approaches me like that, then it's respectable and there's no issue.
It's like friendly.
You know what I'm saying? So like, all right, I'll talk about it. There was one time. There was almost one time a gay dude hit on me, right? And it almost became a fight.
Oh, it's your cousin's fight?
Yeah.
That motherfucker.
All right, but that's different.
Yeah.
And the way I approached it was like I would not do that to a female. If I did it like that to a female.
How did he approach you?
All right.
All right, you go first.
Close your ears. All right. So he was a friend of a friend. So we had a mutual friend, and we were at this house, right, at a cousin of mine's. And so we go out there, we chilling, everybody's drinking. They go out and get another bottle. Now, the mutual friend that we have, he's knocked out, crashed on the couch. And then I was on the couch, and I was like this. I was just sleeping like this, right?
So it was just you and the gay guy.
It was me.
That were conscious.
It was me, the gay guy, and the mutual friend that we have.
But he was knocked out.
He was knocked out, and then I was in the corner taking a nap because I was tired too.
No, I was there too.
No, you weren't there. You had left to go get the bottle.
Oh.
It's actually the first time I met this guy.
Yeah. All right, no, it was a different. No, I have experienced the same guy.
Yeah.
Same
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
so sometimes they get a little wild, you know?
Yeah.
But that's like that.
But
in
that's
any
just
case.
individual.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not a
Yeah,
group
exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
But so with this individual, because I had other dudes that, you know, had shot, you know, they shot their shot, but they did it in a respectable way. So I was like, all right, it's whatever. But
Okay, you were sleeping. I want to hear the story.
it's like, yeah, no, thank you. I'll pass on your offer, but appreciate that. Cause it still feels good, even if it's a dude that, you know what I mean? Like,
Tell
we
us
ain't
what
gonna
happened.
front.
Yeah, I'm
We
like,
ain't
I
gonna
want to
front.
know. I want to know the
Alright.
story. I'm invested.
Alright, bet. So I'm over here, just chilling. I'm sleeping like this, right? And
I already know where this is going. But
where it's going? Boom!
I'm prepared.
Alright, so then the dude just comes up to me and he wakes me up. He's like, yo, and I'm just like, oh, what's up? And then
At least he woke you up.
yeah, he woke me up. Yo, thank God you woke me
I
up.
thought it was
Why
good.
you
I thought it was gonna be like
it
you was
is.
like
No.
something. You like oh shit.
No,
What
trust
the
him
fuck?
No, mine's way worse, man.
Yo, it was a little bit worse. So then he goes like, yo, have you ever been with a dude? And then I was like, nah, I'm good. And then he's like, yo, come on, like, yo, I'll suck your dick. So I was like, nah, bro, I'm good. I was like, I'm good. And he's like, come on, have you ever been with a dude? How do you know? How do you know? And then he was like, yo, I'll bet you anything. We go to the bathroom right now. It'll be the best head you ever had, right? And I was like, bro, he asked me like 3 or 4 times, and I told him every time I said I'm good. So I'm like, now I gotta do something about this, right? So then I was like, yo, my man, you see that beer mug that's on the table? If you ask me one more time, I'm gonna grab that beer mug and I'm gonna crack it across your fucking face, right? And then that's when he finally said, all right. And then he left me alone, and then I chilled after that. But it was like, bro, like if I would have went up to a girl and like asked like 5, 6 times, like, yo, let me eat you out, come on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like that's pretty crazy. So I flip it if I'm on the other side. So I'm like, nah, that's when I could act like that. And then
Yeah, you were patient.
yeah, I was patient. So then,
This motherfucker.
yo, like probably like half an hour later when they come back from the liquor store.
Oh, this happened on the same.
Yo,
Oh,
same
dude,
day.
this motherfucker was
But-
desperate.
Yeah, but to be fair though, he shot a shot at me first. You know, it ain't a competition, but he shot a shot at me first.
No, but it's different. Like that sounds way more respectful than what happened to me.
Yo,
Which I'm
he
shocked.
ain't waste no time with this.
No,
Go ahead, explain
Which,
this shit. Oh,
which
yeah.
I'm shocked because I would think if he went through that experience, he would be more on eggshells.
No, this motherfucker was just like he's aggressive with it. If he was a straight dude, he'd be one of those super like aggressive straight dudes, just like
Real
every
quick
chick.
though, that was a big motherfucker too. So
Yeah.
like, it was like, yo, I had to win that fight.
No, that's
if
how
we're
you
gonna
want-
go down, I had to win that fight.
That's
so.
how he was gonna use a weapon. Because
I'm like, yo, this dude kind of big, son.
Yo, that's what made it even scarier, man. So, dude, I was in the bathroom, and when I was done taking a leak, I was washing my hands, and this motherfucker walks into the bathroom.
You didn't lock the door.
No, what the fuck?
That's
Yo, that sounds like an invite, fam.
Oh my god! This motherfucker comes in the bathroom,
He like
closes
left
the-
it. He like left it open.
Yeah.
He started walking like this, like looking back.
Yeah, fuck y'all. Yo, this motherfucker came in and he closed the door and he hit me with the same line.
He closed the door behind you.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
What was
So
the
what
line
did
though?
you
What was the
say?
line?
No, he's hey man, like I was wondering, have you ever been with? I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, dude, I didn't even let him finish. I'm like, yo, I'm washing my fucking hands, bro. Get the fuck out of here. And he's like, oh, I'm like, dude, get out. I don't even want to hear what the fuck this dude had to
Because
say.
you knew where. It was.
Yeah. And then I
He
went.
was like, yo, what kind of snacks he like? He's like, you are the snack, yo.
Yo,
He said that.
no, fuck no.
Oh.
And then I got out. And then this motherfucker was like, hey, I don't, like, if you feel some sort of way, I'm sorry. I was just like, I'm like, yo.
Did he apologize to you?
Yeah, no, I don't remember if he apologized, but he just said like this, like, all right, like, kind of like, I'll stop fucking with you. Yeah.
Treat it.
Yeah, this motherfucker, like, if he's like, I'm sorry if that made you feel kind of weird. I'm like, dude, you fucking went into the bathroom. I was in the month. I'm like, don't fucking talk to me, man. And he's like, come on, don't be. I'm like, don't fucking talk. Like, I started getting aggressive with the man because, like, that was creepy. And he's a big dude. It was scary.
Hopefully, as men, now you see that.
Yeah.
As a girl, imagine going through that all the time,
Yeah,
being
of course.
harassed,
Yeah.
catcalls, like, they go through that all the time. So.
If you're a good-looking person, you gotta expect people to, shoot their shot.
Yeah.
It is what it is, right?
Mhm.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I think it definitely changed my perspective now when I think of, like, when I talk to girls, like, oh, shit, man, like
When
am
she says-
I being fucking
when she
weird?
says,
Yeah.
leave her alone.
Yeah, leave her alone. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I was never like aggressive before that, but even now I feel like I'm way more conscious of just like
Bullshit.
Yeah, like
no, fuck.
when I
Yeah.
go and then I shoot my shot and then she respectfully declines, then I just go, oh, obviously I don't got game like that to turn a lesbian girl straight, so obviously I just say,
Well, do you go for Do you go
Boom! We should cancel him for that, right? So you've heard these two stories. You've heard the thing. What are your thoughts on
What
it?
are my thoughts? I mean,
it was fair.
yeah, I would have reacted like that if somebody was coming at me like that. Even as a gay person, you know what I mean? Like, cause there's a boundary that you're like overstepping. And then you're trying me, like like I already told you what the deal was, but he probably has gone through the experience of, oh no, and then it ends up something happening. So he's probably trained into thinking like, oh yeah, you're gonna say no, but you're gonna give in.
Yeah.
So he's been successful.
He's
It's
been
a-
successful. Honestly, yeah, that's like a thing. Like that's not out of this world.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I guess it's like, because I'm not in the community, I always wonder if that was just like a thing that I'm like, damn, so do gays just be coming onto each other like mad aggressive and shit just all the time?
A lot of gay guys just prefer not even going towards other gay guys. It's like, it's almost like a challenge. Like, oh, let me get this because it's not. It's almost like how guys see girls. Like, it's like, oh, it's a challenge. Like, let me get to this. Or
The conquest.
yes, exactly. It's like more of a thrill.
And it's like how you were saying earlier, like there are dudes that you just don't see it, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, I got another story, right? I don't want to put his story out there. Now you know what? Never mind. Let's not go down.
So how do you handle it if someone comes onto you too aggressively like that? How do you deal with it?
I think I would deal with it the same way. Like, it would be like, okay, like, chill out. And then if I have to go there, like, then, okay, we're going to fight. You know what I mean?
It's different, like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No.
No, I was gonna say it's different. Like if a dude was aggressive, than if a dude goes, "Oh, yo, what's good?" and then the dude's like, "Yo, why you touching my shoulder?" You know, like, you know what I'm saying?
Like you let it kind of like take its course, and if it has to go there, then it goes there. But I think for the most part, a lot of people already say like, "Oh, you're a little bit intimidating," so I don't think people are really bold like that with me, especially living out here.
Yeah.
Because I'm very vocal, I'm very like what you see is what you get, and I think people kind of read that already. So thankfully I haven't had to deal with that. You know?
And I think when they get too much, like too aggressive against it, I think they might be gay. Like I remember being at a barbershop and there was this gay dude, like really flamboyant, you know, like snap and all that, right? And then he sits down waiting for a haircut, and I'm sitting down waiting for a haircut too. And then the dude was free, and then the guy in there in Spanish, he was like, "Yo, I'm not cutting this guy's hair." Now fuck that. Like he was about to walk out the fucking barbershop. Like, "Yo, I'm not cutting this guy's hair." Now,
being
fuck
gay
it.
and going to a barbershop,
Yo, that's crazy though.
One of the most traumatizing.
For real?
Like every gay guy, that's like a fear to go.
The
to
barbershop?
Because barbershops are like the most misogynistic, like trying to out macho each other environment. So they would talk about girls and stuff, and I would be like, yeah, oh, look at that girl walking by, like, hi. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, and
they probably, once you left, they were probably like just talking about
yeah,
shit.
and like, you know, because they always gossip. Like, the biggest gossipers
the
are
barbershop.
barbers, are male barbers. Like, they gossip more than anybody. They're always talking about somebody else's business or something that happened with them, or it's like, so that was always like.
There might be an exception to that, and it's beauty parlors.
No, like, I'm
worse?
telling you, men are the biggest gossipers, and nobody wants to admit it. Like, men like to hear things, and they like to invest themselves in that and stuff like that.
Yeah, especially at the barbershop.
Especially with my straight friends, like, they like when things happen. Like, it's almost hilarious to see how invested they get and stuff like that, yeah. Because a lot of my friendships have been more with, like, either girls or straight guys. I don't really have like a clique with gay guys and stuff like that. I do have gay friends, but not as like as, and that's a weird thing too. Like for gay guys to like, they see it as like, oh, you have a lot of straight guy friends. Like that's interesting, but I'm not intimidated by straight guys, and a lot of gay guys are intimidated. Like they don't want to have a conversation where they feel uncomfortable. Like you're like questioning them and stuff like that's like traumatic to a lot of gay people because they went through that all their lives, you know?
Makes sense. Yeah, so I found that weird that a dude would be that aggressive about not cutting this man's hair. And
that gay guy sounds like he was fishing too.
You think he was
so
fishing?
When you're like when you do the most to see who's gonna catch the bait, like what? So like there are gay guys who like do the most and are extra flamboyant because there's always that one guy in there that like he's gonna try to like when they leave or something, like, oh, what's up, blah, 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 like.
You serious?
Yes, that is a thing.
So you saying like it could have been that the gay
like
dude,
he was just doing the most to see.
And then the barber that got pissed off, like, I'm not cutting this dude's hair. Once he leaves, like the
no,
gay
I'm
dude,
not saying that barber essentially, but I'm saying like sometimes people
that happens a lot.
do the most. It's like a fishing technique.
So he's dangling the bait
Exactly. Like, look at me, I'm gay. Like, you
Where's
know
the
what I
other?
mean?
Where's the other guy?
Yeah, like, who's gonna
What?
take the bait?
Oh.
Shit.
That's wild.
Because I've learned that, honestly, most gay guys don't act like that around each other. Like, it's all strategy. Strategy.
It's a performance.
It's strategy.
It's a show.
Some of them do, but not all of them. Not for the most. Not from my experience. Unless you're, like, drunk at the club or something like that.
Alright. So,
It's an interesting
We're good.
conversation for sure.
we can keep it going. We can do part 2, you know? So, yeah, I think we're good to go unless you wanted to add anything, or is there anything you wanted to add? Anything you want to, Instagram or Twitter, or anything you want to add
Just
in?
follow me.
Follow you with
Vicmram, Vicmram. My podcast.
We'll make
Not
sure
my
we
but the M,
Yeah.
the M in my username is
Alright,
because
alright.
people are like, why is there an M in here?
So
what?
check 'em
my
out.
podcast too.
It's
Talking
coming
with
back.
Vic,
Talk about
we'll
the
bring
podcast.
it back. It's
When?
more of a lifestyle. By the middle of the summer, we'll see.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle podcast. I talk about people's lives, etc. It's not too different from this, so.
Alright, perfect. And then you're going to have me on, right?
Yeah, come on.
Alright, bet.
Yeah. The
Cool.
both of y'all.
All right, yeah, let's
Cool.
do it.
Alright, so
All
let's
right.
wrap it up.
All right, guys. So thank you guys for tuning into this episode. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for a preview of our next episode. Thank you guys so much.
Yo, so my man over here, he fought back. He said, yo, I don't get it. I don't need a makeover. Because look at this pink Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking nice.
Tucked in or tucked out?
Tucked in.
It don't even matter. Look at the shoes. Man, he said he doesn't need it, but you know what? I said, let's just try something new. So we got my man Victor over here. He about to give him a makeover.
What do you want to wear though?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I always wear Hawaiian shirts.
That's the problem, man. We're not going by what he wants to wear.